Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Day 2 of the PUBG Mobile EU Women's League. We have 4 final matches to close off Week 1, and so far it is looking to be a very close contest. How do you see things shaping up in the end, Majesty?
Good evening, Chura. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, it's going to be another sweaty day for us. I think the last super day of this week. So be interesting to see what the girls get up to tonight.
And we have been seeing several teams really come forward to the front of that leaderboard. I think who did we see? We saw Lytra in the end win the final game of last night to actually go ahead and go to the top of the leaderboard there. But not by much. It's still very, very close, and still the girls below, I think Galatasaray and Nightmare, if I'm not mistaken, were very, very close to each other, not only to that top spot. So it's going to be a very, very close match here this evening. Also looking at some of those girls at the bottom of the table, though, it's going to be seeing where those where Rise of Queens can come through. We got Onyx Dreamcore as well, been doing pretty well, but definitely not in that top 5 where we'd like to see them. And Rexpect Glamour as well, been doing super well, much better than the league stages, but again, not so much going into the Super Week. Wait, I said that the wrong way around. I said that the very wrong way around. They were not doing as well in the qualification to the Super Days, but they are doing better here the last night for sure. Seeing your overview there, yeah, look at that, Majesty. We do have those 16 teams. Just a little reminder here for you guys that what's going on and the total prize pool, as well as those placement points. So looking pretty nice.
Yeah, so if you haven't been with us before, how it works is over the 4 super days, all of their points will be totaled, and then the top 16 overall will qualify for our finals. So even the teams that didn't make it in for the first 2 super days, if they come through next week and qualify, they can still get those points and make it to those finals.
Absolutely. And it's an interesting point to really make that if we have, obviously, we most likely will not have the exact same qualifiers for the next super weekend, super days. Most likely it's not going to happen. We'll probably see some new faces here on this chart next week. But if those same 16 did, in fact, end up being the next 16 for the super weekends, I think that's pretty much a shoe through for the finals. Top 16 both times, that's the top 16.
Yep, so they would have nothing. They can still play for practice and get ready for finals, but they wouldn't have to worry about if they didn't have a great night. It wouldn't make any difference. Then they would still be going through anyway. So yeah, that would be what would happen if it was the same 16 teams to go through again next week.
It would be indeed. These rosters would have a lot more time to practice, but that's pretty much that's an unlikely scenario for sure. Yeah, I think that's probably unlikely. So for now, these teams are just trying their darndest to get as many points as they can and make sure that those other teams that may come in next week in place of them aren't going to take their spot away. Let's talk about Cave Divas just very quickly, since their name's on the board right here. Cave Divas came out in fighting last night, did a fantastic job coming through there, and I think that we've seen them pretty top 8, I think was the last time I saw them.
Yeah, so we're starting to say their name a little bit more now during games as well than we were initially. So they're really starting to come through, get their plays done properly, and yeah, it's going well for them at the moment.
Yeah, going very, very well. Inferno is another one of those, I think, that have been doing better. The last couple of games were a little bit difficult for them, but certainly at the beginning of the night, we did see them really come through and get those kills. Got a lot of eliminations as well. And speaking of eliminations, just come to me, Armed Family did superbly yesterday.
Oh yeah, they're slowly becoming one of my favorites. I am a bit of a fan now. Really pushing early games as well when they land with a team and looking for those kills later on. I think they're maybe more a kill focused team than placements, even though they still have that chicken, they still get those placements, but they're really looking like a strong fragging team as well.
Absolutely. And I do have to say, speaking of strong fragging team, etc., I gotta say the Wildcats not been on their top form here this week in general. Did a bit better in that qualifying, but last night didn't see a whole lot of them at all. I mean, sometimes they got maybe 7 or 8 kills, but nowhere really near that top 5 for the most part that we saw them there. They typically went out kind of top 10 or below. So looking forward to seeing the Wildcats and what they have to offer tonight, if they're going to try and step it up a little bit, or maybe they're confident with the kind of points they've been getting and they're just looking to keep going as is. But definitely a surprise for me to see the Wildcats not doing as well as perhaps in previous weeks.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see the top 2 teams as well, how they go for kills tonight. Leitra, Galatasaray, we've seen those teams as well getting those big kills. So I think it's getting closer between the top few teams now.
It is. I mean, I think before the final match of last night, there was about 1 point between them. I think it was 49, 48, 48 between the top 3. And Leitra there just able to just swoop in and bridge that gap, create that gap, and make sure that the second and third place were nowhere really near Leitra. But there's still, I think, 13, 14 points between the two. So very doable to catch up tonight if Leitra happen to have a bad night or a couple bad games. Here we go, overall standings. So yeah, there is 16 points between first and second place, and then another 12 between second and third. So still very, very close, very doable. But yeah, I think it would take Leitra to have a really bad couple of games to really make sure that Galatasaray or Nightmare or even Cave really are able to get that first spot and keep it throughout the night.
Yeah, and just with those teams that didn't have a great performance last night, Rise of Queens down there, we saw them during the weekdays be a really strong team. They had those strong wins and then also the 2 zooms. So not consistent, but last night they had a consistent bad night. I feel like they didn't have any great games that we've seen them that we know that they can pull off. So just with those 9 points, not a great start for them. So tonight they'll be looking to add to that to cement their spot there.
Absolutely. I mean, same goes for your cook quality as well. They're just 3 points in 4 games last night. So really unsure what's going on with them right now. Well, I'm really hoping that they were able to sort out whatever was going on last night and really bring it forward and come back fighting for tonight. We want to see them perform. We know they can, but they're just not doing it for now. But look at Majesty. There's the MVP race. Look at that.
Yeah, it's nice to see a few different teams featuring in the MVP. Well, it's not just dominated maybe by 1 or 2 teams. We've got a mix of, which is nice. So mix it up a little bit more competition for these girls.
Yeah, and I'm looking here as well, and Opium, with that average survival, is over a minute longer than the rest of her rivals, shall we say. Yeah, so that's an interesting point just in terms of survival time, because that matters so much when it comes to MVP scoring. It's just really interesting to see that Opium is really, in the scope of things, surviving a lot longer than the rest of those girls from the teams. There's today's matches, though, and we will be heading into Erangel very shortly. Should be pretty imminent. We're just waiting for a few more teams to come into that lobby and get ready to go. Then we have a Miramar, Sanhok, and Erangel as well. I think I know which one you're looking forward to, Majesty. It's going to be that Sanhok, isn't it?
Every day Sanhok for me. Every day.
Yep. Yeah, it's just, anything can happen. It's just so chaotic, so random. I think it makes good TV. You know, it really does. It makes great TV. It makes great viewing, not only for us, but you at home as well, whether you're a supporter or not. It's still really fun to see all that going on. As well as Miramar, I want to see what they can do with a little bit more open space. Because a lot of teams, they do actually end up having Erangel, knowing Erangel the most, being able to play Erangel the best. But Miramar, maybe not so much. There's a lot of teams that actually end up not having great times on Miramar. You see a lot of teams that end up Miramar's not their map. You hear that a lot more about Miramar than you do actually about Erangel, because everybody's on Erangel. Sanhok, it's anybody's game. Absolutely anybody's.
Yeah, and different strategies in Sanhok too. So your teams play Erangel, Miramar. Sanhok, it's just completely different, and it goes so quick. There's different strategies. Anything can happen. But actually yesterday my favorite games were Erangel, the nade parades.
Oh yes,
Erangel
that was so much fun.
Yeah, brilliant Erangels last night. So they're actually my favorite games last night over the Sanhok. So yeah, bring on Sanhok again tonight.
Yes, Sanhok. Honestly, with the 4 games, I think we saw last night those teams ended up playing a little bit more aggressively. I remember we were discussing at the beginning of the evening whether or not those 4 games would mean they would all be a bit more careful, or they would be a bit more aggressive because they need as many points as possible. And I think we ended up seeing that in last night. We actually ended up seeing them be a little bit more aggressive. Certainly Armed Family coming out with those early first few kills, just grabbing whatever squad they could very early. But I am thinking that we're going to continue to see that trend of these early kills, of these bigger fights, and just very, very aggressive gameplay overall.
Yeah, and talking about being aggressive, we saw the average damage definitely went up last night as well compared to those weekdays. Everyone stepped up their damage, their kills, and the MVP points shot up as well last night. Yeah, so everyone stepped it up a little bit. So I expect to see the same again tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward to, can somebody actually dethrone Opium from Lytra from that #1 spot? It is still doable. But yeah, because Shirazer's in Sanhok, I'm really sure she got like 7 MVP points. So if she continues to have that kind of result there, she could really do something very, very good there and actually beat Opium at the end of the day.
They would have a way to catch her, but who knows? It can be done. Still plenty of days left to come.
Yeah. Exactly, and this is only week 1, so this is the last day of week 1, but it is going to be week 2 next week, starting Sunday as well. So very, very sure not the last chance these teams will have to rack up any sort of points whatsoever. We start this all over again next Sunday, so definitely plenty of opportunity there. But still, when you come to these kinds of tournaments where you have these long breaks in between, per se, there's not just 1 or 2 days, it's 3 or 4 in between these 2 league weeks. You want to make sure you leave here with the most amount of momentum possible, with the best feeling possible, so you can just go forward, continue your practice, and then come back really feeling very strong and confident in your gameplay for that next week. So definitely a lot riding on tonight, just on mentality wise as well. But here we go, 5 seconds until we get into game. We're going to be flying over Erangel right now. We're going to be seeing that flight path coming up very, very shortly. It's going to be coming up. There we go. We are in game. There goes the screen, and here we go. Ooh, and it's north.
I'm glad you recognize that.
Yeah, that's Stalber up there. And then there's the big mountain next to the crates down to your right-hand side. So yes, we are going very north, but I think a bit more center than we might realize. That's Roshawk right down there as well. So looking pretty north. Wanting to see somebody go to Stalber, please. And this could mean, speaking of Stalber, yeah, there we go. It could mean a very nice north zone.
Yeah, so I didn't want to guesstimate how far we were from the locations on the map. After our plane distant knowledge hasn't been great. But yeah, there is our zone heading over Savini to Milta Power. And I think most places where these girls drop, they will be able to reach even with vehicles. So not a bad plane path to start off our night.
Not. Yeah, it's really not. And, going off of what you said about, how we don't really have the plane distance, set down. We don't really know it. I thought we were over Zarki. So, yeah, definitely can't get quite the reckoning that some may be able to get just from that overhead view. But we are going to be leaving now. That plane path is going to be leaving us. The plane, say adios. It is a west zone. So not quite the Stalber we were looking for, but it's definitely Zarki. Well within that zone is Zarki. So I would wonder if Goskilla might go up there from Severny, might go up to Zarki a little bit. That might be a good spot for them. If the zone continues to go north like that, that could actually be a very nice spot for them, because you will be seeing a quiet game from them that will be able to keep that squad alive, keep them up and fresh, ready for those fights later on in zone. But with those with those rarer zones, you tend to see teams who don't really know that area very well just kind of full send into wherever spot they can find, and that might prove a big advantage to Goskilla if they can just get into Zarki first and set up, establish themselves, and then pick off those teams that may not know the lay of the land that well. So hopefully, for me, I'm hoping that they will go over that way. On screen now, we are seeing the Wildcats, and it looks like Onyx Dreamcore have a little bit of a knock and thirst over there as well. Not sure onto who that was.
So they
yes,
just got
Samurga.
an early kill onto Samurga there, and I thought maybe if they were a bit quicker with that vehicle, they might have run into the Wildcats who had just headed to Georgia Pol as well. So they got to be careful down there too with Dreamcore coming down here.
They do indeed, and it's interesting. I'm seeing Sierra from Samurga is actually parachuting elsewhere. She's nowhere near her teammate. She's on the other side of Wildcats, and she's actually floating her way to hospital, it looks like, or thereabouts. So she's way away from the rest of her team. So the duo of Samurga is going to be going over as far as they can. They look to be maybe running into North Georgia Pol, but they're going to have to be careful because Galacticos are there as well. So they're right on that edge. So Samurga is going to have to be very, very careful there. The Wildcats got their normal 1-3 split over here on these crates. And they're going to just be chilling there while the solo Eddie is going to be over by that little compound we saw her run to earlier. So they're okay for now. They're still a strong team. They should be okay. A lot of teams, though, over on the eastern side, actually. We got Besiktas, of course, on the island. But interestingly enough, it's going to be Nightmare over in Novo. Now, Nightmare typically go to the North Georgia Pol area, to that left side of the Georgia Pol area. But they've gone to Novo this time, and it's kind of lucky that there was no one with them. Elytra, of course, going to Milta Power. Rise of Queens to Milta. Cave over in that farm area. So, for the most part, these teams are very much in their normal spots. I'm just seeing Inferno here as the last team that's kind of out of the ordinary here. They've gone to apartments. We've got this 1-3 split, apartments, and then the other side of Rozhok River there. So could be something interesting coming out of this. We'll have to see what this does for them. I think Delicia was just trying to get that buggy. There are a couple of vehicles over that way. But it'll be interesting to see what this new drop zone does for them and how they're going to use this, because there's no one in Rozhok. Armed Family have moved out of that place completely. They're rotating down to the south and right past Yakut Quality, actually. Looks like Armed Family may be still targeting Yakut Quality here. We've seen them go up to them a couple of times. But we'll have to see how that goes, have to monitor that, but they are definitely looking over that way.
Because yesterday we saw them take that early fight with Yakut Quality, and poor players only had the pistol and the crossbow.
Yes.
And they're always around Rozhok, so it's nice to see they're still going near their drop spots, but normally we have that fight in Rozhok as well, normally contested by a couple of teams. Oh, Inferno here. Who do we have?
I think that's Armed Family.
Green? I remember my colours. Green is Armed Family.
Green.
And that helps because it's, you keep saying armed forces, so it helps green.
Yes, that's true.
That's now the association to remember armed family is green.
Glad I could help.
Yeah, just a few warning shots there. They've departed ways now, so I don't think anything will come of that now. All just in their vehicles.
Tell you what, though, Armed Family are looking for it, aren't they? They really are looking for any opportunity they can. They couldn't quite get the surprise going over onto Yakut Quality there, so they are going to move away. Looks like Inferno might be coming back that way. They've been chased off of Pachinki by Galatasaray there in those vehicles. So yes, this is Delicia and Co going straight past. Oof, with the Uzi.
And we saw how good the Uzi was yesterday with that 1v1. But yeah, so I think Inferno, maybe just pushing into ruins a little bit there. They don't want to stick around just yet, maybe a little bit early for them.
And honestly, it feels a little bit like Inferno don't really know what to do, where to go. And perhaps we're seeing Armed Family pick up on that a little bit because it looks like they didn't really want to stay in apartments at all. So they've moved very quickly out of there and just trying to find a spot, but it looks like they're very random about it. They really don't know where to go, and they keep getting chased off by several different teams. And Armed Family may have decided that this is their next target for an early squad wipe.
Be interesting to see. It looks like I thought maybe they're one player coming back, maybe Aquarius getting a little bit closer again. And they're still having a little look. I mean, do they want to risk going out so soon? Probably not. So I would say let's go find somewhere else. They are sticking there in Ruins, it looks like. Ruins not a bad spot. You've got that higher ground too. Well, we can see Lesnov there has taken that, I don't know what to call it, the broken Ruins area on the top of the hill. Not a bad spot. You can see quite a bit from there. So maybe they'll just stop here in Ruins for the next zone.
That would be, I think, where they've landed. I think they're quite happy there. But they do have several teams all around them. Galatasaray been very interesting moving out of Pachinki and going up to that side as well. So they're just completely surrounded because Goskilla has moved down from Severny. All these teams are betting on a more southern zone than we perhaps mentioned earlier. I thought it might go all the way up to Zarki even. So Goskilla have come down south rather than going across that northern zone. Or northern coastline rather, and they are where we saw Dreamcore earlier in that little compound across the river. So Inferno have to play this well because they are well and truly surrounded here. Even though Goskilla do seem to be moving slightly out of the way, still very dangerous for Inferno in the long run.
Yeah, with the zone coming in just a few seconds, we will see where it goes to shift to next. There it is. Hopefully we can see that on the big screen as well. So, and I've just seen in the kill feed there, Cave Diva's taking on a Rexpect. I think that's a mirror down. Interesting, Rexpect only have a trio, so they're now down to a duo after losing that one player. So they're going to try and play the rest of this game now as a duo.
Oh dear. Not the great start, but I think they didn't have a fantastic start yesterday either, and still they have managed to get to that 8th position there, so hope is not lost for them just yet. We've seen many duos do many things, so definitely, while not the best start, it may still work out for them in the long run. Should be... Oh, okay, we got another fight in that kill feed, though. Could be Goskilla, and who else was that?
Galacticos, I believe.
Oh, yeah. So it was. Oh, Besiktas in the background there for Galatasaray, though. But yes, there is a bit of a fight going on. It looks like Galacticos on the losing end of it. They got 2 down so far. There's... Yep. Oh, and she's going to be taking them out too. Fra. Take them both out.
Well, there's the 2 kills there confirmed for Goskilla Sirens. And another duo for the rest of this game.
Oh, dear. Oh, it looks like Inferno's wanting to move in on that. Look at there. As we see this new zone pop up, it is going to go down to the south side, so no Zarki for us. And these teams were correct. There's a reason I'm a caster and not a professional player, ladies and gentlemen. Because if I make zone mistakes, I can. If Goskilla had been up in Zarki, they'd be in a little bit of a hurt, a little bit of a world of hurt there. But yeah, they have gone down. They completely ignored me, and that's a good thing. Gone down to Ruins there. Seeing the Wildcats put in some bullets, that's nice to see, but I think that's into an Inferno, so not the great spot for them either here. But yes, Wildcats always go up to this mountain if they can. Straight from crates up to the mountain, and so they're doing it once again.
Yeah, but I like this mountain top just in front of hospital. One of my favorite places to go, especially if you have a sniper on your team. You can see around you everywhere so far as well. And if you get that zone, you're laughing because people will have to come to you and you can see them for miles. So here we got Wildcats, Inferno in a little bit of trouble. Looks like I think just one player left up at the moment. I think she's having a fight with Goskilla right now, actually. And Galatasaray coming in. And I don't know if they've pinched those kills, but we just lose Inferno there in 16th place.
Oh, that's a real shame, and no points to show for it in terms of elimination either. So that's a 0-point game going their way. Goskilla able to get that extra kill up, so that's going to be 3 kills for them right now. And the Wildcats just going to be looking over everything and picking up that 1 kill for themselves. So Wildcats not off to a bad start up here on this mountaintop.
Yeah, Chera, how do you feel about this zone? Because every team that landed in George Paul had left, so nobody wanted to stay on that south side. They're all betting on that zone again, going south. So the zone really, for these guys, is starting at this mountain.
Yes, I think... I think that they know PUBG and its love for the field zones, that it generally tries to pick out any sort of open ground as much as possible to make it as hard as possible for these teams. Now, I'm speaking, of course, more emotionally than the algorithmic zone is, but it's definitely something to consider when you see it multiple times, like every Erangel almost, it is going to those fields. And these teams just have a really good eye for the zone. I don't really like the zone because fields, there's only so many fields you can really play from over and over again. But these teams always make it really interesting because, of course, it is all open ground down there. So it looks like it will be interesting nonetheless. But yeah, the zone I would have liked for the Wildcats, I would have liked it, of course, to be up on that mountain. A little bit more of a northern zone would have been more dynamic, I think. But definitely can't complain at this point in time, seeing as the amount of teams are...
Yep, and I just want to point out
on stream.
Armed Family did find their first team to pick on, and they eliminated Surreal there in 15th place and get their first 4 kills. So they did find a team, and they do have their first 4 kills.
They did it again. It only took them 13 minutes this time rather than 4, but they did do it in the end. But goodness me, well done them. Looking at Rise down at the very bottom of that circle as well, looking to see them just skirt in onto the edges of Quarry, but Nightmare are already there. Cave Divas are there as well, so it's looking a little bit spicy down at the south side, but honestly, it's looking spicy everywhere. There's just teams everywhere. Not a whole lot of open ground for these teams to go into. Just seeing you cook quality there, moving in as well, and we still have Galacticos and Armed Family both outside of zone still, so looking to see what kind of spot they can sneak into, what spot they can grab. At the moment, it is going to be Lytra on that outside southeast edge of zone right there. They're just looking, that's a good little spot for them. They're going to be able to see a lot of cars coming in. Unfortunately, there are no cars to be coming in on that section, so that's all for naught, but definitely still a good position, preemptive position from them. We are going to be looking over at Respect as well, but they're in a compound not to be seen by Latra just yet. Goskilla have found their way into zone as well, and Galatasaray have got a compound to themselves, so all looking pretty good as chaotic as this can be. They're all looking pretty well established here.
Yeah, we can just see later here, just scouting around, seeing what places might be available for them to move into a little bit further into zone. They've got Cave Divas up ahead of them, who, with that 1 kill already, looking for another good game from them to start off their nights. And Goskilla here with Galatasaray and Gatka. I'm feeling like maybe a Gatka zone might happen.
Oh, it might. It might, but it is not. Hate to break it to you.
It's not. Aww.
It's not. We will be seeing that zone up on screen in just a bit, but I can tell you it has moved a little bit away from Gatka, just slightly to the southwest there. And we are looking at Rise of Queens now, coming in from that south, trying to take out, or at least knock, and so this is what they're going to be doing. They're not going to be trying to take out Nightmare there. Oh, Besiktas. Uh-oh. I didn't see where they were, but that is surprising.
Samurga, I think, with Besiktas, yeah. And so 3 kills now for them, Samurga. They were under pressure as well from the Wildcats I saw in the kill feed, so not too far away from the Wildcats either. And we have Cave Divas and you cook quality as well. Here they are going to push onto Samurga, actually, onto their compounds.
Ooh!
Oh, that's 1 knock for the Vector.
really good work from them.
And another knock, second knock. Samega can't hold off the push there from Wildcats.
No.
Will be eliminated with 3 kills in 13th.
GG's, a very strong push coming in there. And sometimes it is those confident, full-blown, full send pushes that just panic teams, put a load of pressure on them, overwhelm them, and you end up actually winning something you shouldn't win absolutely because just the pressure takes over. So good play from them. Seeing another one here though.
Family. Yeah, they're trying to push into that zone past Goskiller. They managed to get a little bit of damage spraying those vehicles. Is she going to get a knock out the car?
No.
Not quite enough. I think they'll just manage to sneak into zone there. Freeps looking pretty low, and then 2 of them have stopped here to take this fight with Kato. And she's going to get 1 knock. Can she get a second? They've got their 3rd player just in that little...
Here comes the throwables.
Oh, yeah. Nade Parade is coming already.
Ooh, but it's being returned.
No nade knocks for us just yet in our first game. You can just see behind as well, Galacticos keeping an eye on this, so Goskiller have to watch their backs now. And was that an AWM I just saw on her back? Oh, I think it is.
Yes, it is. Fantastic. Let's go, snipers.
I think that might be the first AWM we have seen.
I think so, yeah. Oh, and they're going to have to leave their teammate behind there. Our family just moving away. That's a shame, but that is going to be 2 down for Armed Family now.
Yeah, we're back with Latra, this time with Cave Divas, so they did decide to push slightly onto them. Obviously, they had to make their way into zone. We see the Rexpec duo moving through as well, taking place just in front of the road. Looks like Mayonnaise is going to push down. Oh, I thought she might have gone a little bit further and got cut off, but she knows that the duo's there. She's going to take those shots, but I think they've just got that little bit of cover at the moment, and we can see them throwing up those smokes as well. I don't think they want to stay here. They're returning that fire though.
Very nice.
She's on her run. Oh, it's Galatasaray from far. She managed to get that knock. I wonder if Rexpect maybe can cheekily steal that kill from them.
Possibly.
Now they're under pressure from Cave Divas as well, because Sonny is down. I know it was Galatasaray who did confirm their kill, so 3 kills for them now. And Latra are in a bit of trouble at the moment because Opium is down as well. Only Sonda remains, and we're going to see Latra be eliminated in 12th position. Just 1 kill for them. So these ladies will be thinking now, MVP,
maybe.
I'm coming for some points.
Absolutely, and that's only 2 points going their way now, Majesty. So that gap between 1st and 2nd place just got a little bit narrower because Galatasaray, with those 3 kills and definitely more than 12th place, are looking to close that gap of 13 points, I think it was. 16 points difference between them originally, so it's not looking good for Litra in terms of continuing to keep that gap far and wide.
Yeah, and Rexpect now down to a solo. I just saw Galatasaray picking off Marina as well, so just a solo there as Rise of Queens looking to come into this zone as well. Yield is very, very low. She will get knocked there. They just crashed in the wrong place right now, and that is Goskiller will go out in 11th first. Rise of Queens still have a player somewhere. There is still 2 of them sneaking around. Here we go. Here's Letty.
What? I'm so confused as to what Rise
nading themselves.
Yes.
She actually naded herself there.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I mean, they came in guns blazing, got rid of Goskilla there. Fantastic work, by the way. But then they just ran into their own... Elifs ran into her own Molotov, and then the nade came in a little too late and just finished the 2 of them. So they naded themselves in the end. They didn't need to lose those 2 teammates, and they did, to their own throwables.
Maybe just a little bit of lack of awareness or communication there.
Yeah,
it happens. You know, it's chaos, and yeah.
Unfortunate, but that is how it's going to be. 6 points though for Rise of Queens, so not looking too shabby overall. Just a real shame they had to lose those 2. Ooh.
Onyx here taking on Armed Family, and they will be eliminating 7th, but take those 4 kills from earlier on. So we're left with our top 6 teams. For our first Erangel, we've got Galatasaray, we've got Cave Divas, Sly Nightmare, the Wildcats, Onyx, Dreamcore, and Rise of Queens duo still in it as well. It's these fields again.
It is. It very much is. And I'm seeing here, it looks like the Wildcats are the only team inside of zone right now. So the rest of these teammates have to all come in. Galatasaray being one of the furthest away, despite having a full squad on board. So should be interesting. We got Dreamcore as well as a full squad. 5 kills going their way. Rise of
Onyx
Queens.
get that knock on Letty and Delphina, and they will go out in 6th.
Still decent score, very decent score along with those 6 kills there. So GG's to Rise of Queens. That's a heck of a lot of points going their way. And now here come the smokes. Here come the throwables. It is a field zone, so all that buffer as much as possible. There's Galatasaray on the offense now. 7 kills for them. And they do have Laura down, but she's going to be able to get res back up. Oh, and that's a really fun little overhead little drone shot there. You're just really seeing the lay of the land there. And Laura going down again. Not sure who that was to, but...
Yeah, so Galatasaray there trying to sneak in the zone, trying to push onto Wildcats, but Cave Divas there with that knock onto Galatasaray, helping out Wildcats a little bit. They are in the zone, so Galatasaray are having to find a way through now. I think they're just managing to sneak in there between the Divas and the Wildcats. Decided not to push either way and just kind of slide into the middle instead. And everyone there, you can see, just hanging on to the edges of zone, ready for the next one. How long can we hang on for?
I know. I mean, it's already been 23 and a half minutes. We're just seeing Seema there trying to hold off behind her coop. But yeah, I'm looking at the Wildcats, honestly. They've had a good game so far. I think that's like 8 kills for them so far, or 7 kills for them and a top 5 position. So looking very, very good start for them for tonight. They need those extra points. I think they're down there in like 13th or something. And that's a really good boost for them.
Yep, and Galatasaray there having a great, strong start. I think they're also on 9 kills for themselves. Oh, Cave Divas there, just the duo, still trying to sneak in. We've got some nades coming in from Galatasaray onto them. See if any of those can hit. They are returning. Nothing connecting so far. And I think we're going to see in a second who is going to be favourable in the next zone. But Sonia's nade... They're getting an elimination on Nightmare, then she does unfortunately get knocked by them. And Nightmare, I think, just a solo Q7 left up. She has got a knock. If she's got any of those throwables left to use, she can maybe take 2 and 1 here if she connects while she's trying to revive. Doesn't look like anything. Oh, she gets her kill and she goes for it. She takes out Cave Divas, the duo. She gets both kills there for 5th place for Cave Divas.
I mean, fantastic result for Cave Divas. They had a great little amount of kill points there. I think I saw at least 6 there, and that 5th place. That's a lot of points going their way. But Nightmare, before Q7 got those last 2 points, or last 2 kills over onto Cave Divas, they had 0 kills. They had just weaseled their way in here, stayed very, very quiet, and here they are, top 4.
Yeah, so this is what I say sometimes to my own clan members and things. For maybe sometimes focus on placement, kills can come at the end. Perfect example there from Nightmare. No kills from them yet. She comes in, gets 2 kills, and she's still in the top 4. You can pick off people at the end. So they really focus, just trying to get their way through the game. She's getting bullied now. Oh, and she's going to be taken out by Galatasaray to come 4th, but she takes her 2 kills with her in 4th place.
Great effort coming in from Nightmare. And again, yeah, like you were saying, they do get those placement points. So 4th place going their way, 2 kills. Not as many as we've seen from them before, but definitely enough to just keep those little points going. And if they can be consistent with that, that's going to mean a huge boost for them by the end of the night. We do see Onyx Dream Corps, though, making their way in. They've got this new zone. It's gone to the south, away from all these teams, and they all have to come in. Still 8 remaining, 3, 3, and 2. So very even playing field so far. But of course, you do have Galatasaray there with 3. Not sure how I think Laura died there to Cape Divas after getting knocked a second time. But looking still very, very good. And you see Dreamcore there with the 3 players still up, looking like they've got some distance between them and the rest of the team.
Oh! She's gone for it. She's stood up in the open. She's managed to get a knock, but she's now in trouble to Galatasaray as her teammate goes down there. Pinky also trying to creep her way in. Hopefully we've got plenty of throwables left as they're down now to a duo. Galatasaray looking very strong because they've just knocked Pinky as well, and Lyax will be a solo.
That was an expensive knock. That was very expensive because they are going to get that res in amongst the smokes there. So Wildcats unharmed by this, but Dreamcore's effort to get that knock actually makes them just a solo. So that's really, really unfortunate. It just didn't work out for them there, and really cost Dreamcore dearly to try and get that knock onto the Wildcats. Oh, the nades come flying in.
It's going to be a case of... Oh, she gets that spray knock through the weeds. I was about to say it's going to be a case of who can just keep themselves hidden the longest in the grass. And here come Galatasaray.
They stole that kill, by the way.
They're like looking very strong. And Onyx will go out in third. And Wildcats... Oh, I thought she was going to get run over at the end there, but she gets eliminated first. Before the violation came in.
Exactly. So that is going to be a Galatasaray win here for the first map of the evening. And what a win that was. We're looking at 5, 10, 14 kills for this team coming through onto the fields of Erangel. Just a fantastic result overall. The Wildcats coming in with that second place. Really nice to see them, because I was talking about them on the beginning of the show, how I wanted to see them just up their game just a little bit and be able to really come forward and get those kill points, get those placement points, and they've done both. They had an 8 kill second place, so very, very well done to them. That's really good to boost them up in those rankings and get them maybe closer to that top 5.
Yeah, and those fields again, PUBG loves giving us the fields in Erangel.
Oh yeah,
it's hard. It's a bit of both ways. It's hard to see, but also easy to see. I don't know. It's like a bit of both at the same time.
It is.
So you really got to work on how much you can conceal yourself and keep hidden in those fields. But Galatasaray there with that winner chicken dinner for our first game tonight.
Fantastic work from them. And again, we just saw them continue to be strong right from the beginning. They didn't stay as long as they usually do in Pachinki, which I thought was interesting. They immediately started pushing other teams away. We saw that with, who was that? The Inferno team, Nashdella Inferno. They tried to move into Pachinki, got chased away by Galatasaray. Then Galatasaray came forward a little bit more. There's Tofita as the MVP. Yeah, there you go. But they were just really aggressive in terms of their driving and their scouting and their reach for the team right from the beginning. So very well done to them.
Yeah, and interesting just the MVP there with 35 contribution. That really shows how spread out that team's damage and kills and effort was. It was really combined for them. But yeah, so 5 points for Tofid there. And that race is on for the MVP now.
It really is. So that's 5 extra points going her way. A pretty long elimination distance as well, 239. That's more than we've seen from the MVP so far in the Super Days, I think.
Yeah, I think yesterday we had one that was like 40 or 50 meters.
48 meters, I think, yeah. It definitely was. So that's very, very short there. Tofita, though, there with 903 damage. 2 for 3 from Galatasaray as well. And then there's Cave Divas in there. With her 761. So Cave Diva's really putting in a lot of work there, despite coming in 5th place in the end. They didn't have those kind of as high of a placement point to show for it, being 3rd, on a leaderboard like this. But still, 5th place with those kills, with those elimination damage points. just looking really, really good there. Oh, again, two for three. Goskilla this time.
Yeah, nice to see a different team who wasn't in the top there, coming in with those longest eliminations. I believe it was Goskilla who had the AWM. So
yes, it was.
I think maybe we finally saw a sniper kill. Getting that.
I think you're right.
Bit of a longer range. But yeah, most of our fights have been happening quite close, so we want to see that range expanding.
Yeah, give us some long range, man. Give us some long range. But there's the match ranking. Looky there.
Yep, 29 points for Galatasaray. Good start for them. 9-point difference from the Wildcats. And then we have a Dream Corps with 16 in third. Unfortunately, we had 3 teams there going out with 0 points, but we still have 3 games to go tonight.
We do, and I just saw there, You Cook Quality got 1 point. So while that does not seem like a lot, they only have 3 points coming into day 2 of the Super Week. So already 1 extra point, that actually goes a long way in terms of what they've already been achieving. So GG's to them for getting the extra point there. We're going to move on over to the elims and damage. Look at that graph.
Yeah, so those first couple of teams, nice, looking good, even to kills, to damage. And then unfortunately we do have those teams again who have got a decent amount of damage but weren't able to get any of their kills to reciprocate the efforts.
Yeah, there's your overall stats as well. 7 airdrops is quite a few. Not as many as we saw yesterday, but definitely more than we saw in the days before. I think we only ever saw like 1 or 2 maybe, but there's 7 airdrops looted here for this game. 19 total rescues to the 63 total knockouts. Looking pretty good. Looking strong. So all these teams here are going to be looking very nice and dandy. Oh, the overall standings are here though. Look at that. Majesty. I'm seeing things.
Yeah, so with that early departure from later, other teams able to catch up, and Galatasaray now taking more points. I wouldn't say, maybe you want to play just for pride, but I wouldn't say they were in any danger of not making the top 16 overall for the finals. So maybe just a little bit of competition between themselves. There's no really massive pressure. It's the pressure at the second half of the table where the people will be concentrating mostly on to see who's going to take the most points away, just in case you don't make it next week, because you never know what can happen.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm just pointing out here, want to point out 6th place to 11th place are 8 points within each other.
Yeah,
that is so close.
Yeah, so close still, and it literally may just come down to a few points if next week we see the 4 teams that didn't make it. If they do make it next week, all those points are going to count.
Yes, they are, and that's going to be that's going to be putting a lot of pressure on the rest of those teams, isn't it? Because they're going to be biting their nails because if they leave it so close like that, very, very easily could some other team just have a whirlwind of a super day and beat them completely. So definitely not where you want to leave it, but they still have 3 games here. We got Miramar, Sanhok, and Erangel left. And we'll be seeing that pretty soon, I think. Yeah, pretty soon. Going into Miramar for the next game. Dare we do predictions, Majesty, or not?
I'm done. I can't do any more predictions.
No. I agree. So yeah, we're going to hold off on those predictions, at least for this week. Maybe we'll spice things up in the finals if we wanted to. Maybe if we wanted to be really toxic. But we'll hold off on that. Yeah. We'll hold off on that for this week, and we're also going to hold off on talking anymore because it's time to go into a little bit of a break right before the Miramar game, so we'll catch you in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. We are here with the Miramar coming to you guys very, very shortly. But yeah, first we've got a couple of minutes until that happens, and we're just gonna chat a little bit about Miramar. So we're not gonna do any team predictions. We've decided we're gonna hold off on that. But maybe some zone predictions. Where would you like the zone to go for this final phase?
So, I'm a fan of Los Leones. I would actually like to see a city finish. So any city, I would like to see a city finish. No open space, buildings. Yeah, that's what I would like to see. Yeah. People can hide anything, nades from buildings, rather than some open space. I would like something different. So PUBG, please.
PUBG, please. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to go a little bit more specific than that, and I'm going to go either San Martin or El Pozo.
I know you like San Martin.
I do. I do like San Martin. It's a great spot. It's my drop spot, honestly, but it's just so dynamic in terms of where you can actually go. You got those two hills either side, so you got some high ground to kind of counter the 5 stacks there with those roofs on top that you can just spray everybody down from. So I always like it there, and it's always very interesting when the zone goes that way as well. And El Pozo as well, just because it's so difficult. It's such a difficult city to really master that I want to see these teams thrown in there and see what they can make out of it.
So we want cities, we want buildings involved again. That's what we want.
Yes.
And even with that San Martin, the big mountain that overlooks it, I know we haven't seen many snipers, but if they wanted to, and that's part of the final zones, you could leave one player up there, bit of overlook the sniper.
Get a 1-3.
Yeah,
1-3 split going.
I want to see it.
Same here. I really want to see that. I'm a sniper. I assume you're a sniper. You love sniping as well. So, yeah, I need to see it. No?
You must be joking. I can barely hit someone with my 3 times of a mind a 6 or an 8.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's just fun seeing other people do it then. But yeah, so we're going to be looking for that long range coming through. Oh, 45 seconds. Let's go. Just coming up there in a minute. We're going to be seeing that flight path, but yeah, we want city. Let's go with those cities, with those overhangs to where we can actually find some high ground to get those snipes off from. So yeah, very, very excited for that. And we're not going to do predictions, but we are looking at certain teams, not teams that shall not be named, but we are looking at certain teams there coming off the back of that first game. Teams who didn't do so well, teams who did do well. Looking at all of them right now. 5 seconds, here we go.
We don't have to do predictions, but the chat can. So if you are there watching and you would like to make a prediction, do let us know in chat. I do have a little bit of a look, so we can see your comments and see who we're cheering for. So do hype up your teams, and any predictions you want to make, let us know.
Absolutely. We want to see those. We see them all. We want to see what y'all are saying. Alrighty there. The phone is plugged in this time. There we go. And there's that flight path. Ooh, alright. So we are going across Los Leones there. We got some... Oh, Galactico's going straight over to the island as well as Brigitte. So there's 2 right on that small bit of island there. So that could be an early fight coming through. We're also going to see, hopefully, somebody go Campo Militar. It's right there. Come on. There's so much good loot over there. You can't pass that one up. We might even see Picado if the zone decides to go center. I always forget Picado is an actual thing, but it is right there. It's Miramar's answer for Pachinki. And we're going to be seeing a couple teams go there potentially. Already in Chumacera, we got Lytra and somebody else. Goskilla, maybe? Possibly Goskilla there. Yes, it is Goskilla. So Goskilla and Lytra. Oh, there's the zone.
I was hoping that zone was going to be nasty, and we were going to go to like La Cabrera, Ruins, and El Pozo. It's been a bit kind to them. It's been a bit too kind. Most of them are already there.
Which makes it easy for them to be a little bit more comfortable, maybe. and allow them to move around a little bit more. They're like, yeah, we don't need to get into zone. Maybe we can just run around a little bit, see some kills, try and find out where everybody is, get a little bit of info. So we may see some unintentional run-ins there. Speaking of unintentional run-ins, though, I am just seeing that Simurga has done a 1-3 split, and while that's not a bad idea, Celinda is literally right on top of Inferno there.
Yeah, and it's nice to see Respect normally have Besiktas above them.
Oh,
so
yes.
They don't have no pressure coming in above them now, so they've also done a little bit of a 1-3 as well. Outside of zone, just with Galatasaray in El Azahar.
They have, and actually, yeah, Galatasaray, you mentioned them going to El Azahar. Normally, if I'm remembering this correctly, they normally go to Picado, or maybe I'm mixing that up, but I'm pretty sure they went to Picado at one point several times. So that's an interesting little change from them, Armed Family going over to Impala. And I find it interesting because normally when you go to those sorts of main leagues, you see a lot of traffic around Impala. Everybody wants to be there. And in the women's league so far that I've casted over the summer, not many go there. There might be one or maybe two teams, but generally it's pretty empty. And so Armed Family are going to be able to just move right in without any worries at all. So much like Respect there, they're just going to be able to move on in, loot up, and then maybe move on out if they want to, because they are in zone. So no trouble at all there. Cave Divas do have Picado to themselves this time around. I know we've seen them fight a couple of teams overall in Picado before. They have been hot drop before. It's been going both ways. But yeah, we are seeing in that kill feed there, seeing a little bit of action between Lytra and Goskilla. We will be going over to that probably in a little bit. But at the moment, Goskilla is losing out there with 2 down already. That's not a great start for them at all. Really hoping they can pick that one back up. We also have Dreamcore over in Los Leotas down there, as well as Nightmare, both down there, so should be interesting. Oh, Goskilla
ama 2 gün ortalaması olarak o 10 puan onlara dün de çok puanları yoktu.
In that kill feed,
yetmez gibi görünüyor ama önümüzde tabii Miramar'la birlikte
getting back her own over onto Lytra there. We are seeing that be happening over there in that kill feed.
Güzel bir bine bir şekilde o arayı kapatacaklarını düşünüyorum.
Ben de aynı şekilde
we have some technical difficulties our
10 puanları var
side.
Rise of
The
Queen's
live
ekibinin.
our
Dün
feed
biraz
has
şanssız başladıklarını
stopped. I don't know
düşünüyorum
if you can
çünkü
still hear me.
bundan
Feed has
önceki
stopped
günlerde
now.
gerçekten
If the live
sadece
stop, they
oyunlar
can't
çok
hear
güzeldi
us.
Rise of Queen's
okay.
ekibinin. Süper haftaya
We
bir
need
tık
to be
şanssız
connected
başladılar
to the
diyebiliriz.
live stream
Bence
only.
bugün o şanssızlıkları da üzerinden atıp
Right, unless he's fed
daha
our
sonrasında güzelce
mics through
oyunlarına
his thing
devam
and then he's just
edecekler ki
showing
zaten
us. That's the
önümüzde
only thing. I don't know.
Hello, guys. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Because we don't have a stream right now, but
We have no feed, so huh? Okay. And we're back. Okay, so hello again. We are still with Respect here, going through onto that Lytra, losing 2. Look at that, Fra bringing it back for her team. Fantastic work coming through there in the kill feed. They were looking very low. They were down to a duo. 2 were knocked over there in Chumasera, but Fra comes in, picking up all those kills against Lytra and saving her squad. So really great work coming in from her. Yeah, there we go. Goskilla as a full squad and 3 kills going their way. So GG's to Goskilla. Fra really coming in clutch there. 3 kills for her. Fantastic work.
yep, nice early kills there for Goskilla. Let me just
well done.
catch up.
Yeah. And as well, because Lytra, of course, being that that number 2 spot now, but Goskilla quite a ways down from there. They're going to be all the way down. Where are they? Oh, in 6th place. So there's quite a bit of difference between these two teams. Generally, when you have this kind of difference, you also see sometimes with Lytra, of course, being super strong there. They're generally going to be taking over those lower ranked teams. But Goskilla, no fear for them. And Fra coming in well clutch with that 3v1. And just doing it, getting it done. And now Lytra really, really hurting for this Miramar game. Oh, no! She fell down the cliff! Oh, no! Lytra!
Oh. Would you risk jumping down somewhere when you're the last player?
I don't know. Unless, PUBG's weird though, you know, what might not look particularly like a long distance ends up killing you, especially if she wasn't full health maybe? Oh no. I mean, at this point you can only laugh at it. If you were her, if you were that team, you just go, what on earth was that?
I mean,
But,
you could probably laugh because you're a little bit safe with all the points that you've got.
True. That is
But,
true.
Yeah, still not great start from them, and obviously to
No.
go out in 16th in the second game.
That's just gonna give those points right on over to Galatasaray, and that means that even if Galatasaray have a really bad game as well, Lytra cannot gain any more points over onto Galatasaray, so they're gonna still stay in that first place position for this Miramar game. So looking good for Galatasaray. That's looking safe for them. Nightmare could still be a little bit of an issue, and I've just noticed that Nightmare and Cave Divas are at the exact same points, 3rd and 4th. So Cave have done extremely well to really put in that effort and make it to 4th place.
Yeah, and I wonder if it'll boost the other teams as well that later have had 2 poorer games than we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
It shows them, you know, they're not invincible. They can still have a 2 soon as well. Little bit of confidence now for the other teams. Thinking,
Absolutely.
it can be done.
Oh yeah, and that's a great point you bring up about kind of the mentality that Lytra may kind of have to snap back to. You know, that they are not invincible despite having such a good game. Or a good few games, rather. Oh, but looks like Samerica might not be having the great start to their game. They're very much not thinking that they're invincible, because that is going to be Sierra going down and those smokes immediately coming back up through for that cover. Good stuff.
Yep, and with Surreal in that first game, they did have that too soon. Oh, and Mia as well. She tried to go for the revive and gets knocked herself. It's always the risk when you try and go and revive someone who's a little bit further away from the team, and she has got knocked herself. So it looks like the other 2, I don't think are going to stay for this note. They have gone. They're sacrificing their teammates, and they're not going to stay for that fight. And it'll be 2 kills there for. I'm thinking now, Surreal.
Surreal, yeah. But I do want to point out that Surreal just got third-party by Cave Divas there, so they grabbed a little extra point onto Surreal while they were busy with Samarga. So Miramar, land of third parties, I guess?
Oh yeah, we've seen it every night. We see third parties in Miramar. It destroys hopes and dreams of some of these girls. When you think you're doing absolutely great, you're pushing a team, you're winning. Nope, there's always another team somewhere behind you.
And I think that's what Samerga is finding out now as they drive right into Nightmare. Uh-oh. Oh, just getting through. How did they get through? Wow. Alrighty, they made it. They went straight through both duos there and came out on the other side. That's fantastic for them. The zone has moved again. It's gone kind of center, and we're going to be seeing it go Los Leones and Picado. Chumacera is also there as well, but it's mostly Los Leones. That's where these teams kind of are all congregating. You see Rise of Queens and Armed Family over to the southeast side. Of course, Nightmares here, as well as Onyx Dream Corps. Galatasaray have moved down from El Hazahar. They've gone to those mountain sides just below La Bendita. And speaking of La Bendita, that's going to be where Respect is. So they're looking okay there. The Wildcats just moving in, and interestingly enough, the Wildcats have stayed, well, they can, because they've just gone to those cliffs above Picado there. They had gone to Power Grid as their looting spot. That's where they generally go, and just move over to those to that high ground right below them. But they do have Yakut Quality coming in down from San Martin along that ridge as well. So could be seeing something happening there. And if Yakut Quality could make this happen, get that little bit of surprise up onto the Wildcats, that could be some vital points going their way, and also be the downfall of Wildcats because they're in 7th place. They need those points as well if they're trying to get any farther up. As same here for Inferno versus Cave Divas. You see Inferno down there in 14th place. Only 11 points have gone their way in the last 5 matches rather, this being the 6th. So Inferno could really use these points against Cave Divas. Cave Divas, of course, want that podium place. At the moment, they have it based on this match's points. Nightmare haven't gotten any points yet, so you see Cave in that 3rd place position, but that is all very able to be changed there as Nightmare continue to rack up those points as well.
Yeah, and I can see Respect also while they're traveling to zone, they do have a full squad in this game, so they do have that extra player. Hopefully will make a difference for them in this Miramar game. They normally do pretty well. They've been doing okay. They've just been falling, unfortunately, to that third party that we were talking about.
Yes.
Excuse me?
It has been very unfortunate to watch Respect get third-partied again and again. And speaking of third party, Surreal, they might be going straight into their former adversaries. Let's pronounce that correctly, shall we? Cave Divas. They've got a really, really nice little split right across, beautifully spread out across this ridge line here. Very nicely done. Love to see a little bit of a line split coming through from any sort of team. And Cave Divas doing it very well. Of course, this terrain does allow for that kind of split. You're not going to be seeing the 2-2 very often along this ridge. It is going to be a bit of a line across it. But making sure that Surreal can't really get forward on this side. And they may have to go elsewhere. I think their best bet would probably be able to go in the opposite side, more towards Respect. Maybe they would be able to either win this fight against Respect or just be able to avoid it completely. There you're seeing the new zone. Oh, and it's not in any city, Majesty.
I don't even know what to say to PUBG anymore.
I know. I know. Completely ignored us.
We've got the edges of Los Leones, but the chances of it staying there and shifting down to the southeast, unlikely. I did see in the kill feed, Rise of Queens did lose a player there to Submerga. Rise of Queens are not having a good start to the Super Days.
They really haven't. They've just been struggling for sure, and I'm not entirely sure why. They seem to be playing pretty well there again. I'm not seeing any obvious mistakes when we do have that screen on to them. I'm just not sure what's going on. Maybe it's some communication issues, maybe some hesitation, some confidence issues. I'm not entirely sure. But it would be nice to see them eradicate those problems and come back fighting, because we know how good they can be. Oh no, Fra has gone down in this fight that we're just seeing right now. And Fra was the one that saved her team from Elytra, so that's a real shame that she's gone down so early.
Yeah, and I just managed to get that revive there as well, so back up to, just as I say that, Yatem is going to go down instead. Galacticos there, just pushing up onto Ghost Killer, so we're seeing a nice little fight here. The Thirst has come in on Yatem, and maybe this duo now looking to fall back to the safety of that compound. I saw not too far from them as well, Besiktas just in front of them as well. I saw them, so keep an eye on them. There we can see now on the screen if they're going to come and have a third party look at this. But yeah, Goskiller there just moving into the compound, trying to take a breather. They don't want to do a 2v4.
No, they really, really don't. They've been on a roll. They've got that momentum going, and you don't have to necessarily lose momentum by losing players, but you will definitely lose momentum by going out entirely. So if they can just fall back a little bit, regroup, rethink, and get a new plan going, then they can come back a little bit stronger and maybe get into that top 10 like they should be. Certainly with the previous performance, they should. New zone has popped up, though, and no city for us. It has gone just above Galacticos and Goskilla here. You can see it in that little mini-map feed. So it's gone straight on over to that western side. You got a couple of compounds in there, but it's mostly hills. A little bit of a junction there as well. And all those teams that were in Los Leones, we had 4 over there. All the teams over by La Bandita, they're all having to come in to the eastern side and the north side as well. So that's going to be very busy very quickly.
Yeah, Goskilla there just focusing on Besiktas in the kill feed. I think they just got the knock and a thirst. Let me just check. No, so did they get that revive on Besiktas? Or am I just far behind on the kill feed? I'm sure they're with Besiktas right now. I saw that. But anyway, we've got Am Family. We haven't seen them just yet, but there they are in the kill feed as well. I'm not sure if our stats on the right are accurate, because I'm seeing them in the kill feed and then I'm checking But let's just. I'm not gonna ignore the stats on the right and just concentrate on their kill feed instead. Because I was looking to see if they did get that third straight away, but I don't think it's been updated there. So I'm gonna just stick with the kill feed and what we can see right now. And there, Amira is gonna go down to Alum.
No. Oh no, that's a bit of a blow for them for sure there. That's gonna be just the solo for Respect now. No, it's a duo. It's a duo for Respect. They're just split up. Okay. Oh yeah, Marina having to come way in there.
Oh, Yay going out as well.
Oh. Not good for Respect. Not good at all. 15th place. Oh no, Sumerga in 15th place. We've lost Sumerga in all this. Okay. Didn't see that coming through there.
Sonia of Cave Divas is going to go out as well. It's a little bit of battle on this side of our zone. And for once, it's the northern side that's going to be the contested area instead of the south. We've got Dreamcore though and Rise of Queens just outside of Los Leones. And we know how much Dreamcore like a Miramar and like the Los Leones fights.
True.
Yeah, all happening in the north for once right now in our Miramar game.
It is all going down in that north side. And here we go again. Look at this. Up against Rise of Queens down to the south side this time. Just what you were mentioning there beforehand. Oof.
So Rise managing to get their first kill there. So they're looking now in this game to pick up some points after we said the mention that they didn't have a great start to our Super Days. Going up against Onyx Dreamcore now. They do have another player down. So 2 up at the moment. Looks like Dreamcore managing to have enough time to revive as well. Which maybe not the best for them, but also Rise of Queens there, Letty getting that revive as well. So both of these teams will get their players picked back up, and it will be even again. There, the Molly is going to come in as well. We're on the edge of the zone, so they don't. Oh, the nade! And it does re-knock Delphia there, unfortunately for her. I can see some more nades cooking from Dreamcore as well as Marina does a lovely nade there on Galatasaray to get a knock as well. Don't forget Respect duo going up against a good Galatasaray. Oh, Sniper goes out there in the play zone and we've got another revive onto Delphia.
Nice. I think Letty's very brave to stay there. They have to know that there's some nades going through. On that side, Respect do go out there in 14th place, but this is still happening. Oh, great Molotov.
She said she's just jumping out of that one. I think she's going to go for that revive again. Will Rise of Queens push now and try to get these 4 kills and eliminate them? Oh, she's on her own for Onyx. Oh, I thought she was going to pull it off. She's so unfortunate. Oh, it was a 1v1 at the end there. She had those 2 knocks. The third player for Rise of Queens came in to clean up there, and they're going to get those kills. Oh, such a shame for Dreamcore there. She managed to take down 2.
So very close. And look at Delphia. She's just got no health whatsoever. Had to leave her teammates behind now. And that means that she just barely gets that res going, but she is out in the zone. There's Nightmare, there's Inferno. There's no way she's getting across here. So I think that's just a kind of a moot point there. It's an equal fight. Nobody's really won there.
Yeah, and they're still all coming through this north and eastern side. Oh, as Lesant gets knocked as well. Oh, Galatasaray going out in 10th.
Oh, wow. So still not a fantastic game from them, and that's only going to be, 6 or 7 points going their way. So they still will keep that difference between Lytra and Galatasaray. That gap will still be there. But yeah, not as many points as they could possibly have gotten.
Yeah, and it's going to be a good result for these bottom end teams. Look at them, 1, 2, 3, 4 along the bottom side. All still alive, top 8 now, picking up some kills this game. They're all going to pick up some placements. So good for these guys, getting themselves back in the game.
Absolutely. I'm surprised to see Galacticos down there, actually. So good for all these teams, like you said, going to be going on up here. Nash, though, not having a great time. Surreal.
Inferno down to a solo as well, and that is them eliminated in 8.
Hey, 8th place and 2 points though, so still going up there just a little bit by bit. They keep crawling up that point feed, up that leaderboard potentially in the end. Oh, Brigitte going out there as well. And Nightmare. Wow.
Coming in at 6th. So your cut quality still in this as well, and they'll be very, very happy with some points here. Surreal. We haven't got any full squads left up as those nades coming in from it is Haraza. So she's got 6 kills right now, so she's looking really good for her MVP again as she just gets eliminated there. Oh, by Ghost Killer and Surreal just like that down to a duo. So we've only got duos. We've got a trio there for your cut quality and a solo for Family. Still in it as a solo.
Top 5. That's fantastic. And I do have to just go back to Surreal for just a moment. They have 12 kills. 6 of them were from Shirazers. She did half of those kills by herself.
Yeah, she's looking good. She's looking for those MVP points. We've
seen
Leitra go out early twice, so no MVPs from them.
That's true. That's very true. So she's really putting in that effort to get that MVP spot. And that's going to be our family going out there as well. So that's going to be 5th place for them. But it's looking great for Yakut. I mean, it's not. I'm going to stay completely neutral and not jinx them at all. But yeah, Yakut's still in it.
Ghost Killer here though with that center zone, they can keep an eye on Surreal there. The duo trying to come in. Your cut quality. Look. No, I'm not going to say look spread out because we have 2 brown teams. I forget. So we've got the Galacticos as well.
Yes, we do. Yeah, there's 2 from Galacticos actually. Yeah.
Yep. Got to make their way into zone as well. Looks like they're getting tagged up right now. Your cut quality there. We see a player go down to Surreal. So Surreal keeping their eye on them. Goskilla though with this zone at the moment until it starts creeping in. And I think the Galacticos duo just on the edge of zone there. We can just see them moving around, making their way a little bit into that zone. Oh, not quite enough there from Cat Veins. Oh, the buggy coming in there from your cut as Kylie's going to go down to Surreal. So Surreal there, the duo taking on both the other teams. Goskilla though still with this zone. Where are we going to shift to? We can see those knocks outside of the blue. They will just be left. No hope left for them.
Yeah, that's the end of that.
And just 5 eliminations there for Surreal player. I didn't quite catch her full name.
But 15 total for Surreal. 16 total
16
for Surreal.
now. 16. So, woof. They're looking for these points in this game. And the zone has stayed with Goskilla. So Surreal there. Really gonna have a hard time trying to come into this zone. This is where you're hoping and praying you have smokes left.
Yes, absolutely. But honestly, I think they can be very happy even if they go out in this 4th position. 16 kills.
They probably
That's more than you get with a win.
Yeah, they probably still have maybe more points than maybe even 2nd or 3rd if they came 4th right now. But you don't want to think about 4th. You're thinking, I want the chicken. And then she takes a little bit too much damage. So they're going to have to take that bit of time. We've only got just under 10 seconds for the zone to move in. Now is the time to make your move. We can see those smokes getting thrown up there. And I think Cat Veins are just going to keep an eye on these. As, yeah, she's going to get that 1 knock on Milena. Just a solo, I think, Soul Girl to move in. And don't forget, we've still got players from a solo from Galacticos and your cut quality solo players who are in the zone as well. I think keeping very quiet.
Very quiet indeed. I mean, Yakut is actually in the same compound as Goskilla there. They're not in the zone. She's in the building next door. And she's just being very, very quiet there, snaking around on the bottom floor. And just trying to, stay as quiet as possible and just wait for these 2 teams to sort themselves out before making any moves.
So it's Surreal there. They've gone for that revive, and now their smokes have gone. So maybe she's just... she tries to sneak behind the airdrop. She gets re-knocked, and I think Soul Girl there will not make it into that play zone, and I think they will go out in 4th. I think she's going to go for the meds now. But Guskilla
Medsta
is still
and
keeping
Miramar.
they're still focused on them though. So when
Yeah.
the 2 solos from the other teams, what are they going to do now? There's only a duo for Guskilla, so it can be done. I think Surreal, she's happy to just stay there now and heal if she can, for as long as she can.
Yeah, and she's got only 2 first aids left, so these other teams have to hurry up and die before she goes out. And I just want to say that Galacticos, there she goes. She is out in 4th. That is going to be Surreal out in 4th place with 16 kills, though. So fantastic job from them. But Galacticos is just in the middle of the road. She's just prone in the middle of the road because of that ridge. No one can see her. So she's just out in the open, just waiting for these teams to do something.
Probably
very
also,
bold move.
Probably just waiting to heal as well. By that road. Roads are always horrible if you've got to cross them. So open. Molly coming in.
Yeah. I think that is from Galacticos. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, she's putting a bunch of throwables over on the other side of the ridge there. So there goes a smoke. Yeah, you can just see her there. And now she has to make that push. Molotov into the top area. Just anywhere, really, that she can think of. Just tossing them.
She's going to have to push that. I wonder if she's got any more smoke just to cloud herself up a little bit more. But those mollies will distract the Guskilla players, so they won't be able to go to that window. So that's actually a really good tactic, because push them away from the window so she could try and run across. Obviously, we've got that Yakut quality solo down there as well. And can she make it in?
Smoke.
Yeah, can she make it in sneakily? I think if she was quiet instead of shooting right now, she could still make it in. Oh! It's going to be the Yakut quality player there, eliminating Galacticos in 3rd place. I think if she didn't, maybe she hadn't shot her then, she might have been able to come through without revealing herself, because they were looking in the opposite direction.
They were, and she was trying to keep that cover on there so she couldn't peek at all, but in the end it kind of backfired and just let everybody know where she was. And Yakut quality, once you know exactly where they are and you're confident you're going to be able to get your sights on them accurately, it's kind of a no-brainer there, and you are going to go ahead and go down, even if she takes a fair bit of damage to it anyway.
We got a 2v1 right now. We have the duo of Guskilla and we have the solo from Yakut quality, so they know it's a 2v1. They're not rushing for that push in yet. They're still using those throwables first. Are they going to go in 1 by 1? She could still do this 2v1 if they push separately.
If they push separately, it's game over for sure. But no, I think it's going to be on either side. Well done.
A side each.
Fantastic. Really, really good stuff from them. Just Guskilla. I mean, we saw that with Lytra. I was like, dang, they're really going for it tonight for this Miramar game. And they went all the way to the end as a duo. I mean, I keep saying time and time again, we've seen duos do great things. They went ahead and won the whole thing as a duo. I mean, to be fair, sure, there wasn't a whole lot of full squads around. But still, they did it. They managed it. And that's going to be Guskilla taking that chicken dinner in Miramar with 9 kills as well. So fantastic stuff coming in from them. There they all are. There's Fra in the front there. Going to be seeing her with those kills, the 3 kills against Lytra, and then going out a little bit early. So a bit of a shame, but her team carried her to victory. And that's going to be them doing that. Gotta say, Yakut quality as well. They only had 2 kills there, but 2nd place going to be a massive boost. And that's, far away from the 3 kills that or the 4 points that they've gotten so far over the last 2 days. It's fantastic work from them.
Yeah, so they're doing good there just to boost themselves up, give them that little bit of cushion, extra points. It's the last couple of days for this Super Day week. So they need to take as many as they can, and that game they have done 2nd place.
They have indeed, and Galacticos going out there in 3rd with those 3 kills as well. Galacticos not been doing as well as maybe we would have thought they would be doing, so I think they were there in 13th or 14th. And again, the 3rd place is going to boost them massively, so well done to them. Surreal as well in that 4th place, and Arm Family in 5th. All these teams have been really nice to see, actually, that it's been a game of the lower end of the table. So all these teams, no matter where they place, because they were in that top kind of 7 spot or top 10, they were able to get as many points as possible. So great stuff from them, because all those higher up teams kind of went out early.
Yeah, nice for them as well, because there's a little bit of competition now at the second half of that leaderboard. So we like a bit of competition. We don't want it to be too comfortable for these teams. So it's nice that it's getting a little bit fiery. We're getting those points, and it's still pretty close.
Yes, indeed. It's still all there. And I'm just going to mention Melina with surreal 666 damage. Just saying. 666. Anyway, 774 for Gus Kill is Kawaii, and 730 as well for Surreal's Shirazur. So Shirazur's putting in an excellent game here for this Miramar. And again, I mean, are we going to see her MVP? I kind of think we are. With those 6 out of 12 kills, I think that's probably what we're going to be seeing there, or 6 out of 16 at the end. Longest elimination distance, fairly far, but not as far as we're used to seeing. But it is going to be the Cave Divas, 2 out of 3.
Yep, nice to see some different teams, some different faces in this game, taking those top spots.
Yeah, very nice indeed. Right then, so yeah, that's going to be Elam from the Wildcats as well. Now, second place, very nicely done. And then it's going to be Loriachi and Amaya there in those first and third places. So nicely done. Only 1 meter difference between 2 and 3. So very, very close amongst all these ladies.
Yeah, I'm still looking. I wonder now. We've got Sanhok coming. Sanhok, I think, was our longest elimination yesterday. So let's root for Sanhok again. We want to see over 300 meters. And then we have our match rankings for that game. And look at that. Equal points, first and second. That's the first time we've seen that. Equal points, 24 for Goskiller and 24 for Surreal. Look at those eliminations difference. We've got 9 for Goskiller. And we would say, if, winner, 9 kills. Great. But then you look at second and you see 16.
Yeah,
that's
insane.
Even though they placed 4th, I said even though they come there, they'll probably have enough points to come second or third. And quick maths, I was pretty accurate. They came second.
Pretty accurate, yeah.
And then that massive jump there to third for your cut quality with 14. But that is like more than triple than the points that they took from day one altogether.
Right.
So they'll be very happy with that. They've put in the work in that game, got themselves 14 points, and throw themselves right back in the mix.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic work from Yakut Quality. They'll be very happy with that, and hopefully that's the start of their momentum carrying forward into the next 2 games. Sirens as well, Galactical Sirens there in the 4th place, but only 1 point difference between those 2, and that point difference is in those eliminations. So just able to get an extra little kill there for the Galactical Sirens. Arm Family, Nightmare Divas all the way down, and Latra Eternal 0 points. Expect Glamour unfortunately 0 points as well, even though they had a really good game actually. They came down, they survived quite a long time, they had a couple of fights there, but unfortunately just unable to get those kill points going.
Yeah, next we've got our eliminations and damage graph. So let's have a look at those. Let me just tilt my head a little bit. I don't think this is accurate, so let's not talk about that. I think there's a couple of teams, a couple of logos mixed up. But anyway, we have those 16 kills from Surreal. So we...
Yeah. This looks to be a different graph than the one that we should be seeing. Oh well.
Never mind.
Would
have been nice to see the damage of Surreal with those 16 compared to everybody else.
It's got to be at least 3k, right?
Yeah, so definitely will be up there amongst those 19 kills from Leitra and 15 kills from... Who had our chicken with 15? We had 15 kills the other day. I don't think it was yesterday, but maybe the day before. But yeah, so definitely up there with one of our highest fragging wins so far.
For sure. Oh, overall stats. There we go. 158 throwables used. So that's actually more than we... No, it's not. It's less than we saw in the Erangel. I was thinking it was nearly 100 there. No, it was 192 or something for Erangel. So 158, so that's less, but that's generally what we see on Miramar. You don't need as many throwables because of all those ridges, so the smokes aren't really going out as much. That's quite a low count that we've seen normally, and 9 airdrops looted this time.
Yep, so not as many of those throwables. I'm looking for Erangel again. Obviously, those heals, we're going to see them doubled, if not tripled, in our next game.
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking to see if they're actually going to make it more than 20,000, because in last night's Sanhok, we had 19.582 total healing points. So I'm looking for them to go above that. I want a new record for tonight. Let's leave week one. Let's leave week one on a high there with those Sanhok healing points there. But speaking of points, there's the overall match standings, and Galatasaray just moving slightly further. And look at Goskilla shooting into 5th place there. Surreal into 6th. So fantastic work from both these teams. Looking very, very nice indeed.
Yep, so great result from them, really putting themselves back in there. And also quality 18 points now altogether, pushing that up into 14th. And Inferno and Besiktas, we're going to be looking for them in the next 2 games to grab as many points as they can. And Besiktas as well, not what we're used to seeing from them either.
Yeah, definitely.
And, Rise of Queens just slipped down again as well. Galacticos as well, obviously good placement for them in the last game, so they're going to move up as well. So we're seeing now a little bit of a shift, teams moving up and down. 2 games left, all still to play for. Just that one game, just the one game can make a very, very big difference for these teams.
Absolutely. And I'm just looking, I mean, still very, very doable amongst all these teams. But I'm seeing, I mean, like I said before, Miramar, there was 6 points between 6th and 11th, and now we're not seeing that so much. We are, in fact, seeing a little bit more of a gap coming through as these teams kind of figure out where they're going. But fantastic little win there for Goskilla. They're going to be shooting up onto that 5th place position, and Surreal right behind them. So just shows you, because Surreal got the same amount of kills same amount of points as Goskilla there, even though they came out in 4th, just shows you that kind of hierarchy there, that Goskilla were a little bit ahead of Surreal in the first place and just managed to get an extra little placement spot ahead of them there with the 5th rather than the 6th, but still very, very even, very, very close. And Sanhok, I think, is going to tell us a lot about where these teams are finally going to be staying after the next couple of games. I think Sanhok's going to do a lot of work towards that final placement.
Yeah, and I think later we'll have a little bit of work to do now. Not a major concern for them, but with 2 not great games, they need their confidence back as well. So I think they might come back in our Sanhok game.
Yeah, they might, because I think they are comfortable, but they also don't want to go out kind of limping. They don't want to finish this off with a little bit of a downturn in terms of the mood and the mental. So maybe we're going to be seeing them actually just go ahead. Yeah, we're comfortable and we don't mind dying early. So we're going to go ahead and just ruin everybody's day and go full force and see what happens in Sanhok. But we'll see if all that is going to happen. It's just speculation at this point, but it will all become reality pretty soon as we're going to go into Sanhok in the next game. So don't go anywhere, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are. Gonna go straight into Sanhok in just a moment, but yes, very excited. We are back from our break. Hope you guys got your drinks, got your snacks, got whatever you need to settle in, because that was the official halftime break. Not to mention that bit, we were in here for the next 2 games now. So you won't have much chance to get anything you needed then. So I hate to break it to you, but you're stuck here now for the final 2 games of the evening. Yeah, we will be going into that Sanhok game very, very shortly. And smaller map means shorter game potentially, although these teams have been kind of dragging it out until it's about the 25-minute mark as usual. But yeah, we should be seeing a lot of action, a lot of chaos, a lot of good things coming over here. Majesty and I are big fans of Sanhok, super excited, so can't wait every single time. I know I know that's a controversial opinion, but we're sticking with it because Sanhok is just amazing.
Yeah, it just goes so quick. It's just action. That's what we'd like to see, so let's get straight into it.
Absolutely. So we're just going to be waiting for that camera to go over to those to the game feed, so we can actually have a little look at, see what's going on over there. But yeah, very, very soon we will be getting that over there. And I'm looking at Goskilla here. I'm looking at who else? Who was it? Who was it? Help me out here.
From last game?
From last game. You could quality Surreal.
Galacticos.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. It was nice to see some different faces featuring in the top 5.
Absolutely.
And the usual team. So mix it up a little bit in that last game. Maybe the same again. They'll all be on a high now.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to say, that momentum carrying forward from a Miramar game, as big of a game as a Miramar, it's so difficult to actually win. I think in some ways more difficult than an Erangel. It's a bit of a trickier map to win. So for a team like Goskilla, like any of these teams really, but for a team to win Miramar means a lot of extra morale points going their way as well. And going into Sanhok, another very tricky map to win. Hopefully that's going to be that boost they need to see them through. But yeah, we have missed that plane path just barely, but that zone has come forward, and we are going to be going over to the East Coast. All right, here we go. Very pleased with that one. We are going to be on board with Respect as well here, just to the south side. They've just come out of docks, I think, going into Kampong. They're going to be looking at Samurga over there as well, but not quite yet. We got those 2 on that edge there, Mira and Marina, just on the edge of zone. They're going to be looting on up a little bit. Going to be seeing as well. Who else we got? We got Rise of Queens and Armed Family both in the quarry area. And we're also seeing, I just saw, yes, Galacticos and Inferno very close, just either side of Bond there on those hillsides. Apart from that, these teams are pretty much separate. They're going to be going on their separate ways. There, Goskilla just moving out of boot camp right now. But yeah, you are seeing right now Sniper from Respect. She's going to be Marina now pushing up as well. They've got that info that Samurga is there. Just going to be trying to get as much info as possible. Maybe making a push. I'm not sure that it would work at this stage. I'm not sure that they need an early fight just yet. They would probably have a better time if they actually just moved around. And there's a lot of hills on that eastern coast that come off of the coastline there that would be a bit more of a safer place for Respect to actually try and gatekeep or engage with Samurga in any way. But I think Samurga is going to outplay them entirely and move up the coast themselves, go over to Lakawi. They're not going to stay there for long. I think Respect they're just going to have to, either stay there for a little bit, move into zone slowly, or just go on their merry way and forget about them entirely, Majesty.
Yeah, we saw the same from Samurga a couple of nights ago. But actually, let's just quickly have a look at later in Besiktas, because we've got some early action right now. And Cobra, unfortunately, will be the first blood of our Sanhok game. And there goes your Tem of Goskilla as well, who we were hoping would keep up that momentum from the last game. Currently 1 down as well. We're going for a cheeky 1v1 here right now. We are. She's going to, no, not quite connecting on those heads. So headshots have been lacking a little bit. So we'll see if we can get a cheeky knock here for Nest there on Besiktas. She's got her support coming through now from behind, the players coming there with her vehicle. So she's not alone now. And so just a trio there for Ghost Killer. I mean, Besiktas. Ghost Killer as well have one down, I must add.
Yeah, that's a real shame. Ghost Killer losing that one early. Not even 8 minutes into that game. Of course, that is going to do a little bit to them, make sure that they go a little bit more on the cautious side of things. But I really do like where Lytra are right now. This whole sort of, what is this, crater area is such a good place to play from. I'm not surprised by Lytra's. Ooh.
Oh, Opium not winning the 1v1 there, and she's going to go down. Besiktas still in a little bit of trouble because she has been knocked as well, and I think their last player is a little bit too far to help out. We just can see her across there, so I think they will possibly be down to a solo eventually. I don't think she's got any chance of pushing on later there and getting that revive back up. Probably wise just to dip and try and survive now.
Yeah, and I think that's just what she's done. Evelyn's going to be moving on up to those compounds other side of the road there, just in the distance. So, no!
Oh, she's not going to go for the pan finish, is she?
No! No, she did! Oh!
There's violations coming today.
They're bringing out... Day 2, bringing out the toxicity. Okay.
I don't know
then.
if they can be that toxic after their first 2 games.
You know you are right. Yeah, that's a lot of nerve coming from Lytra there with those first 2 games under their belt. But goodness me, they are going to be taking out, unfortunately, 2 there of Besiktas. What a shame. But yeah, as I was saying, that that crater area is just a fantastic position to play from. Gives you so much control over the surrounding areas, so it doesn't surprise me at all that Lytra were wanting to confirm that area for themselves and push Besiktas out. And unfortunately for Besiktas, it has in fact worked. Moving over to that zone, though, the zone has not gone to the coast side. That's a real shame because it's fun. But no, it is going to be going over to Paradise. So Paradise is central. Onyx Dream Core going to be very happy with that. Going to be moving out of Quarry as well. We see both Samurga and Rise of Queens getting out of there. And still in zone is Cave Divas. Right on the very edge. Very, very late rotation for them. So we'll be seeing them eventually come into zone. So far, not seeing a whole lot of medic looting right now. Not been seeing that so far on both on family there. Oh, they found Samurga as well.
Yep, and I wonder, have the Divas left their player in Sami already? Are they going to leave her behind? Or are they going to try and go as a squad this time as Arm Family under pressure now? We have got one down. The duo here on the bike moving into the compound. Let's see. Oh, you cook quality now. Getting that a thirst on Lytra. So bringing them to a trio. You cook quality having much better day after this. After that Miramar. Now coming in Sanhok. Getting 1 kill already for them against Lytra.
Very nicely done for them. Yeah, they were kind of stuck out there. They had chosen the cliff sides of the island, just to the northwest there, and got stuck on that other side of the beach. As the zone moved east, it kind of stuck them out there. So they've just had to make a run for it on that bridge side. Fortunately for them, do get that knock onto Lytra, and that gives them passage over to the compound that Besiktas was moving to. Besiktas actually moving to the tiny little island, the one with the shack there, just off the coastline. I think she's going to stay there for as long as that zone lets her. That's actually a good spot for a solo to go, because no one really looks there.
Yep, and I'm also thinking about Respect. The last time we saw that map, we did see them outside of zone still coming from Kampong. And a lot of those teams were gathered around Quarry, around Balm. Here they are with Inferno here. And if they choose to run straight in that direction, normal rotation from Kampong, I normally go up to Quarry. Obviously, Samurga go up to Lakaway and rotate that way. But yeah, if I expect just go directly in front of them to zone, they're going to come across quite a few teams to
Yeah,
try and
there's
get into that
several.
zone.
There are several in this area. It looks like, just looking on this map feed here, we do have Respect having gone the way of Sumerga. They have gone up to Lakawi, and they seem to be staying there for the time being, just moving off now as the zone pushes them in. But looks like they might just come in just behind Goskilla there, and maybe avoid a lot of these teams. So if they're careful, they will just skirt up the edge of zone, maybe over to Camp Bravo if the zone allows. But hopefully, even if the zone doesn't allow, I hope they actually go up that way. A north rotation would suit them better because of the amount of teams that are out here and the amount of zone that's actually not being used in the north side.
Yeah, it looks like the rest of Arm Family just regrouping here in this compound. They do have Inferno just on that hillside on top of them. I always mention in Sanhok, I prefer to take the hills rather than the compounds. And Inferno probably up there is a better position for me. But we know how good our family are at eliminating squads. So I don't know if Hate Me is... Oh, we switched anyway. I don't know if she was just maybe a little bit disconnected or checking something there. She stood there with the door open. Probably not the best idea in the doorway. But hopefully she comes back and she's all right.
Yeah, she should. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, she is just staring at the ground there just for a bit, but she should be coming back. And I do have to say this zone very quickly has gone over to the west side. So Besiktas and Yakut quality as well as Lytra, obviously, but Yakut very, very happy with this. Besiktas able to stay on that island for a little bit longer. So very well played by them. They're being zone blessed right now.
Are we having a boot camp zone?
Just slightly.
A little bit. Don't tell me it's gone for the water because it's going to be horrible. And you want to get on either side of that water as soon as you can before other teams take those spots.
Absolutely. I mean, yes, it still could go down to boot camp. We have the majority of boot camp inside zone, but it is very much to the south side. Oh, Loina, no.
That's is she going to get thirsty? Can she make it behind the rock? She can. It's Galatasaray there up on the top side of our left screen there with that knock on Loina. And Nightmare not too far away as well. So they could get sandwiched in here between two teams either side of them. Looks like Heraza's going for this revive though. She's not going to let her teammate... Oh, she gets knocked as well as she goes to try and revive. The risk did not pay off. And she could possibly get eliminated herself. It's always the risk when you try and go for revive and you have to think, is it worth it? She was looking pretty low. They went for it though, and unfortunately it hasn't paid off. She's going to get knocked as well, and obviously we know how good she is for their team. Oh, dangerous.
Very dangerous indeed. And I do have to say, we don't often see mistakes. Yeah, she's going to go ahead and get thirsted on up there in the kill feed, but we don't generally see mistakes from these teams. Not big ones, not ones that lead to death, but unfortunately there, I think for Surreal, that was a big mistake coming through because of how open it was, how on point Galatasaray are. Obviously they wouldn't have known it was Galatasaray, but still, with how on point they were, how in their sights that rock was, I think it was way, way too risky to try and get that revive, and now they've put themselves in a position where they're just a duo now, rather than that trio with Shirazers up. Even if you go for that risky play, I mean, Shirazers going in feels like a little bit of a mistake on its own. For Shirazers to go in, the MVP of their team so far, and MVP, contender for that MVP spot, I think that was a big mistake coming through from them to try and put Shirazers in a risky position in a very almost suicidal mission to get that res.
Now we have Beshka with our nade kill. Arm Family under a lot of pressure between two teams right now. They've only got a solo left up. She's maybe got the chance of reviving one of her players. Otherwise, she will be solo. It was Nightmare and I think Rise of Queens between them taking on Arm Family there. And she has got that revive up. So back to a duo. And also Respect in a bit of trouble as well. They're traveling there past Wildcats in their vehicles. I think... Oh, Yay is down there on her own as well. Can she make it out there? The nade is going to go in, but to the wrong building, it looks like. So that's going to be a wasted nade there from them as Sniper goes down as well. So they think she's in that left side building. She's actually in the right. So
and they're going to move on.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Wildcat's just jumping on that bike there. Gone. Ah!
No!
Oh, no! Oh, if you're going to drive anywhere, you don't drive down the road.
No!
Oh, armed family. Oh,
heartbreak road
in
for
the
sure.
middle of the road between that team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can't even dodge that. It's so open. You can't even go down a dip, up a hill.
No.
Oh, trying to rotate on the bike through the road didn't work out for Arm Family there, and we're going to see them be eliminated first.
Yeah, that's what happens when you go down that road right in between Nightmareville teams. You know, they are known for a very steady spray, and you could see that coming through there right on target for both of those players. And unfortunately, of course, with the bike being a fairly unsteady vehicle, I'm going to hold off there for just a second.
Because everybody's trying to get into the zone now. They're all running through the blue, so they're running like crazy ladies in the open. They've left it maybe a little bit too long with the teams that are in front of them. And yeah, a lot of people are getting taken out now. We've got a solo left for Nightmare. And she's got maybe like 1-2 different teams in front of her. Rise of Queens are there as well. Yeah. 200 meters to go.
Yeah. But look at her first aids.
Oh, well. She might just decide to stay here then. She's going to be the med strat for Nightmare now. She's on her own.
Yeah.
She might, I think, she could maybe try and run to zone while she's healing, because all these other teams are going to go for zone as well, because they're still in play. So she might be able to just follow them behind them. It looks like she might be doing that. A mirror here for Rexpect as a killer there. Go out in 14th.
I think that was to Inferno as well. Yeah, 3 kills on the side of Inferno. And I think the last one out to the zone potentially. So, wow, that's a bit of an upset for Goskilla there. Didn't expect that from them like this. Oh, look at Evelyn, though, from Besiktas.
Oh, no. And she might be in the zone, but I couldn't think of a worse place to be, if I'm honest.
To be fair, yes. I mean, the only thing that is good about this is hopefully she has a lot of first aids. No, she's got 7. Okay, so she could hold out a little while, but all these teams, with all that water, they don't have a lot of places to go. I think she's going to get at least, I would say, top 8.
Yeah, and if she's not blessed with that zone, as soon as she leaves the compound, oh my goodness, this is what I mean about this water. Honestly, it's the worst place. And if this was my final zone, I'd probably cry, and I wouldn't even know what to do, because I would say I'm not going in that water. It's a little bit deeper there, but once you get towards the island, if you got to get across that and the zone shifts away, every team who's on the edge watching you.
Oh no, it has.
Oh, so they've made that effort there, Cave Divas, to go through the water. They're going to have to swim all the way to the zone. And Galatasaray just being eyed up there by your Cook Quality, who don't have too far to go. And they are on land, and they're eyeing up that solo on that little tiny island. Oh.
I'm really surprised that Cave Divas even went for the water at this stage. It was so unlikely to go to the water. And they still went for it, so really surprised that they decided to go for that. There is still a little bit of water left. There's a lot of high cliffs there, so they could still potentially just stay in the water, stay very, very quiet, stay right under those cliff sides, and maybe get some placement points that way. But I'm surprised that they went for that so early.
Oh. Yeah, maybe they were thinking it was going to shift to that island, and they could take that solo and take the island.
I think that may have been the plan, yeah.
Yeah, as soon as they're in that water and the zone goes, they start how to swim in the opposite direction. Yeah, Ponyo there getting taken down by Galatasaray, who are also taking fire from Rise of Queens. And we've got Onyx here trying to fend off the rest of your Cook Quality. I think I'm going to sneeze. Hang on.
Okay.
I can feel it coming. It might be okay. Yeah. Let's carry on.
But actually, fantastic work from Dreamcore here, looking for these kills. Oh, look at that Thirst coming in, getting that steal of a kill. Very nicely done, but you Cook Quality. This is just a fantastic work from Dreamcore, to be honest. She's got this little edge zone here. She knows that Cook's up there, that they have to come down the cliff anyway, and they were stuck up there in that tiny little space, which is just perfect for nades. So they did really, really well there to grab some points off of that, try to get some points at least, and just pay attention to that opportunity coming through there. On the side there, you got your top 5 fraggers, though. 6 eliminations from Tofita, then 3-2-2-2. So very nicely done there. But yeah, Cave going to be going down.
Yeah, the solo still alive on the island as well is now definitely going for the med strat as well.
Oh, yeah.
And with nobody really in this next zone.
She's just used her last med.
Oh!
She's out.
Oh, Logica's going to get thirsted as well by Delphia and gets 3 kills. And there we go with Sheiktus there. The solo on the island taking 6th place. Who have we just lost in 5th? It must be your cut quality. It is with 6 eliminations.
Very nicely done for them.
We're going to have
Fantastic
a massive
game.
run for zone now. But no. Is it only Dreamcore here?
No way. Really?
We have the solo for Nightmare, who we saw earlier with her 30 meds, and the Cave Diva solos. Don't tell me she's all the way down in Sami.
She is. She's not even in Sami. She's further. She's on the south coast.
The Cave. She's been there for like how many?
The entire game.
The second zone. She hasn't even had to do anything. I want this job.
It's still 20 meds.
I want to be this player who just goes, "Give me some meds." I'm just gonna stand here and med. That sounds like a job I could do.
Yeah, Majesty, she's gonna get 2nd place. Anissa is using her last
med. And Dreamcore. I mean, I don't know how they've got a 60% chance of winning, but
yeah,
unless they're all gonna die really, really quick.
Yeah, no, there we go. That's going to go straight up to 75-25 to make 100%. But yeah, Loriachi. So it is going to be Dreamcore taking this win here, but Cave Divas with that med strat just worked superbly for them. I mean, normally, you know, we do say, yeah, man, the 1-3 split from the get-go, don't like it. You know, it's a bit hesitant, a little bit unconfident there, but it's really, really, really worked in this game for them. 2nd place, only 2 kills going their way as well. The rest of the team couldn't quite make those extra points happen, but it is going to be Loriachi carrying her team to 2nd place, and she's going to continue doing this as well. Oh, no, she's not. Never mind.
Oh, there we go. Chicken dinner for Dreamcore. They must be thinking, great. There's nobody in this zone. We've guaranteed basically our chicken dinner.
Fantastic. Really, really great work coming in from them. Just great stuff there because they're fairly low. I don't think they're as low as some of the other players. I mean, obviously, but I think they're like 11th or 12th place coming into this game. So that's going to be a fantastic boost. I mean, loads of points going their way. What is that? 6, 7, 8 kills, as well as that 15 points for the win. So fantastic work coming in from them. I know I say fantastic a lot. You're probably noticing that, but it is because these girls are just so phenomenal, doing such a good job. So very, very well done to Dreamcore for putting that through.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start doing this. Well, next time I play scrims, I'm gonna tell my team, leave me. But how do you find 30 medkits?
I don't know.
How? I barely find 3.
I know.
And that's with some boosted loot, and I'm thinking I've only got 3 medkits. I'm gonna try it out. I've seen it so many times now here. I'm gonna try it and see if it works for me. So if I can get a 2nd place.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's really the way to go. Currently, in the current format, for sure, the way to go. We saw it work exponentially for them. Gosh, that was such a good game from them. Nightmare coming in 3rd, though, as well with that med strat, so none too shabby there. It's just the distance that Loriachi had there, right on that southern coast. Didn't even try to get into zone at any point in the game, and still getting that 2nd place. So very well done to them. But I do have to shout out to Dreamcore. I mentioned it very briefly there just before the last team went out there in that final circle, was that Dreamcore with Yakut quality just knew exactly where they were and knew, there's that pan kill. Oh, the audacity. Anyway, just seeing there that they had them on that ledge in a small space where nades and throwables would be the most damaging, and just really trying to keep, there's that nade just overextending there a little bit.
Yeah, the driving there, I think, cost her that.
Absolutely, just overextending there. Oh, no, Elim. Dear, oh dear. But yeah, so just fantastic, really fantastic work, I think, from Dreamcore to be aware of where Yakut was and know what to do and try and stop them in any means necessary. So very well done to Dreamcore for that little bit of genius.
Yep, and this is that fight there, Dreamcore.
Oh yeah, just what I was talking about.
Yeah, that nade coming in there as well. Don't often see so many throwables used in Sanhok because it's so quick and so close. So it's nice to see them still using those nades kills. And but yeah, the Med Strat. I always think it's a shame that we don't get to see a final fight between the top two teams.
Absolutely.
But it also is nice to see the effort of these solos that get left behind the whole game. You're probably listening to your teammates as well, talking about where enemies are and things, and you're just standing there doing your med kits and
just humming a little tune in the background for sure. Yeah. So yeah, there we are. There's Dreamcore on your screens right now. There they are, match 7 going on over to them. Just a great day for Dreamcore, honestly. But they get, I think, 4th place in the Miramar, if I'm not mistaken. So just really good day for them so far. Gonna boost them a lot up in those points in that leaderboard, and potentially secure their spot to the finals.
Yep, so last game coming up. These teams that have been coming through today keep it up last game and cement themselves with some nice points ready to go back into our league play?
That is the question. It's just Erangel, so still a very sweaty kind of map. It's not as big as the Miramar, so there's not a lot of room to really move around. And I think that's going to be a very interesting last game. Typically, we see the last games of any sort of stage of a tournament, and particularly the last game of a final, just go all out, where these teams are just YOLO it, all or nothing, go full send, and kind of hoping that's what we're going to be seeing tonight, especially amongst the more comfortable teams. I'm hoping that we're going to be seeing them be a little bit more comfortable to push each other and maybe get some early eliminations, maybe go the way of Armed Family, and try and get those early elims as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so I'm hoping, or maybe thinking, that we see some teams tactically drop on other teams where they would normally go. So I'm hoping we might see that tactical play will come in, especially in the finals, I think. So yeah, it'd be nice to see if any of those teams decide to, you know what, let's do a cheeky drop on another team. Let's try it out and see if we can take them. That's what I'm going to be looking for in this next game.
That is a good point, and I would like just to add on to that with Lytra, with the way they've been playing today, that's not going to have gone unnoticed by these teams, and I'm wondering if anybody's going to drop on them on Mill to Power.
Interesting. Maybe one of the other teams that's also doing well, or even a team further down who thinks, you know what, we really need to get some points.
I can see you could quality doing it.
Yeah, let's try and just, take one of the other teams out. Or even the teams that are close at the bottom together. Maybe even thinking we need to get a few more points than these guys. Let's take these guys out right now so they can't get any more points today.
That is,
It's, tactics might start to come into it, whether they think about it now or save it for finals. But, if you're one of those teams that just scraped into this top 16 and you need it, maybe it's worth the risk. There we have our total points from that game, though. 23 coming in for our winners. And here we have our kills and damage graph. I think looking... imagine just skip it again. I think that's the same one as last time.
I think it's the same one as last time, yeah. Lytra did not get 11 kills there.
I was just looking at that thing, no.
No.
So yeah, whether they keep tactics or not to themselves, or whether they even thought about it. Some teams don't even think about tactics. I know if I've seen it before where I've been watching my friends in like PMNC and other teams land on them because they're close and they need to take them out and get more points than them for like the prize pool, and you think, no, why? It's horrible, don't do it. But then when you're that team, you need to do that. That's what you need to do. if you want to
So-
come out on top. So I wonder if we'll see
Absolutely.
any of them do that in this last game tonight.
Would be very interesting if we did see, like you're saying, a little bit of targeting going on in this final game, because I think pretty much there's going to be the vague settings are probably going to be on. Yeah, 15,000 total healing. So even with Loriachi doing all that healing, we have not beat the record of last night with 19.5 thousand.
And
It wasn't as many overall.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised because although there's only 2 or 3 of them out there healing, which isn't the most we've seen, so yeah,
True.
most of them decided to play on and take their as much as they could their full squads to the final zones.
True, that is true. We're also seeing 101 throwables used and only 17 total rescues. That's nothing. So,
Sanhok, so quick and so close though. Yes, those revives have to come very quick.
Yeah, they really, really do. But overall standings, Majesty, looky there.
Look at that. Later slipping down again into third. Now with 82, Nightmare on the same points. KT was even on the same points.
Yeah.
So we've got second, third, and fourth all on the same points.
That's amazing.
Galatasaray edging a bit further out, really cementing their place. They've been so consistent, and they're getting the rewards for that now.
Absolutely. Seeing Surreal down there. Oh, they have gone past Ghost Killer there. So that game was just very instrumental in Surreal's advancement up to that 5th place, 62 points. So 20 points behind the top 4, and Ghost Killer just slipping down by 1 point there after going out a little earlier than they probably would have liked. Goodness.
Yep, and further down as well, Respect. 2 not so good games, so they've slipped down again. So maybe one of the teams who are thinking, we need some extra. They're not too bad points, but you have to remember, if you don't make it into the second Super Days, then you're only relying on these 2 nights' points.
Yes, that's true. That is true, and that is going to be a little bit of a somber thought for many of those teams, as you said, down there in the lower areas of that leaderboard. But hopefully they will be able to qualify again next week and try and bring that number up just a little bit. But yeah, for now, we're going to stay on this week. We're going to stay on Erangel for our final game of the evening. And that will be coming to you guys in a few moments, but I think we're going to be going into a little bit of a break first. So don't go anywhere. This is your last chance before the final game to get anything you may need. Spam that team name in the chat if you have nothing else to really do in the middle of the break. And we'll be seeing you in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned for Erangel. Oh, the mics are back on. Okay. No break then? Okay. Let's...
Sure, don't do this to me.
No. Okay. So... Alright, listen. We did the predictions for Zone. We did predictions for Zone. For Miramar. So what are you looking for in Erangel this time?
Oh gosh. Right, stop it. I'm cool. Hold it.
I want to see South Georgia Pole crates.
Oh, that would be a good one because they moved straight away from there last time.
They did. Yes, the Wildcats. That's their landing spot. They typically go up to the mountain. We may see them still go up there if the zone goes that way. But they may go back down to the crates. I want to see how that would all work and how those teams would negotiate kind of a lot of open ground around there. So I would be kind of looking forward to that. But I think the zone went to the west in the first game. I don't think it's going to go that way. Again, it's probably going to go elsewhere. So I think that might be a little bit of wishful thinking. But at the moment anyway, that's kind of where I want it to go. What about you?
Yeah, and I think as well with those crates, it's so hard to find enemy when you're there. There's so many places you could be in the crate, around the crate, running around. Yeah, So those smokes, throwables, we'll see how they would use them in that situation instead.
True. Very
Tricky
true.
to negotiate them. But yeah, that's I think a George Paul one would be nice as well. Something different.
Yeah, we get a lot of the hills, we get a lot of the fields. I want to see some crates, I want to see some compounds in action this time around, and not just, one compound in the field. I want to see a million compounds. I want a city finish if we have to, something like that that's going to get us a little bit more of a difficult spot. We have a lot of that open ground difficulty, but then there's the other side where that's all the compound difficulty as well. And we see several teams do better in compounds, so I want to see maybe they've not had the representation to actually be able and do their best here, and maybe that's why they've been struggling just a little bit. So hopefully we can see some of that representation come through. But yes, we are going to go into a break now. We do have that confirmation, so we're going to go into a little bit of a break, and we will be seeing you in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. We are here. That was a bit of a short break, but that is because we are very soon getting into Erangel. Almost there now. And we're looking for these teams. Final game, Majesty. Final game of the Super Day. Final game of the week. Looking very, very exciting for sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some hot drops, some sweaty play straight away. I think we might get it. So fingers crossed they're going to put a show on for this last game. And don't forget, if you are on the live stream, do let us know as well in the comments who you think will take it, who your teams are, so we can check out them as well and get your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to see what your thoughts are, like Majesty just said. But yeah, like we said just before the break, I'm really looking forward to seeing if these teams are going to start YOLOing it just a little bit. And because YOLOing it goes for a little bit more of a chaotic game, goes for very much a shorter game in the long run as well. And these teams are pretty good at getting those early kills and then knowing that there's less teams and coming together even quicker. So those early kills don't generally mean that we are going in for a quiet mid game. They are pretty good at just going all the way through with super quick gameplay. So this is what we're going to see now. And that's a nice playing path, Majesty.
Yeah, and we're going to finish off in Starboard. I wonder if anybody will think, you know what, let's go land up there last game. And
potentially.
Maybe the PUBG gods will be with us and they will gift you your Starboard zone.
Potentially, I'd like to see it. We had said crates before, but I'll take Stalber as well. Stalber's still a very tricky spot. And again, with those high places, those high ground, the little cliff areas as well, I do enjoy going around Stalber. Same reason why I enjoy the hills around Prison and Shelter as well. Just so much dynamic territory, terrain to go around and work through. So looking forward to seeing if that's going to go up there. But we'll see in a moment. Let's see. Oh, it does. It does. Let's go. Alrighty, I am ready for this now. Stalber, here we come. Kameshki up there as well. Got a little bit of Severny, so Guskilla going to be very happy with that. You could quality going to Yasnaya. They know for sure that there should be a team there, but it looks like we're not going to have that just yet. They're going to be okay for now. Surreal moving off that area and instead going straight over to Respect. So looks like there'll be a hot drop on that side. For now, I'm also seeing Cave and Rise of Queens be a little close, but that's generally how it looks because we're not zoomed in, so I think they're okay there. Definitely over to the west side as well, Samurga, and I can't quite see who is that underneath. Brown, Inferno?
Galacticos, I think, is
Galacticos, you're right. You are right, yes. So Galacticos, Samurga, you got the Wildcats up there as well with their buggies, and Galatasaray there just moving over to Pachinki as well, but very, very close from all of these teams. Oh, that was a mouthful, but yeah, looking a little bit more hot droppy, honestly.
Yeah, I just want to point out, we were talking about we wanted to see other teams land on other teams in the same drop spot. Besiktas have gone to a military base where Lecha normally land.
That is true.
So maybe they were hoping Lecha would be there. They haven't. They've landed on the other side of the bridge. So maybe Besiktas thought, let's do this. We did see them land there when Lecha weren't playing, I think, early on in our league play. And then when Lecha came, they landed there instead. So I'm wondering if Besiktas thought, let's go there. We know Lecha can go there. So unfortunately, they decided not to land there this game. Maybe Lecha thought people might do that, and so they decided not to go. Then we got a nade. Oh, can she get a cheeky early knock here? Sniper. We saw that nade not quite go in the right direction. And is this a solo for Surreal here right now with a full squad of Respect?
She is. I think so.
It could be. I think she's on her own, so the rest of Respect they're coming for support as well. So she's going to have a good deal. The nade going to get on the stairs there, try and suppress them from coming up. The molly goes out as well.
Your team is coming up, though. She's getting that back up from that west side. You can just see on the mini-map there.
Yeah, if Respect want to get an early kill, they got to do it now before her teammates come in, because I think only maybe a solo is coming there. So they will be up to a duo.
Oh, the nade's coming in, though.
Oh, the rest of Surreal is coming. I think Respect might have left it a little bit too long here. They're going to push up the stairs. She's going to get one knock, and Melena's going to go down there to Marina. She's going to quickly thirst that as well. No doubts about that. She is thirsted. So they've lost already Melena there early on. The rest of Surreal are coming, though. And Sniper is going to go down. Amira gets the knock on Soul Girl. So they're just a duo at the moment. Respect have lost one as well, one down. So 2v2 right now. And can they get their plays? She's going to thirst that as well. I think probably the best decision there. Get these points. Respect haven't had a great start tonight, but they did have a good day yesterday, so they might just want to finish off with a good little play here. They've got 2 kills. Have lost sniper, so down to a trio. Marina's going to go down as well.
And it's 2 Shirazers as well. Oh,
looks like she's cooking that nade to cook in. Oh, it's going to connect. Yay, just waited too long. And just like that, Amira is a solo. And I think unless she takes... Oh, she gets that. That was cheeky, and she's going to get eliminated though. Oh, no respect.
She went for it though.
They went for it. They take 2 kills. Admirable. Yeah, and it was just the 1v1 at the end there. Unfortunately, I thought for a second she might have thought about taking the car and going.
Yeah, I think she did. For just a moment there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it stayed. Got that one great knock though.
Yeah,
fantastic.
fantastic.
That last player outside with her, unfortunately. Oh, respect.
I know. It hurts. But they do end tonight with 36 points. So they are going to be staying in 12th for now. And if the 4 teams below them don't do any better than that, that's where they're going to be staying. So they do take 36 points home to hopefully add on to next week. And that's not too shabby considering where the rest of those points are. I mean, you've only got a 20-odd point difference between that and 7th place. So the points haven't been astronomical yet for this week. So I think 37 is not going to, or rather 36 is not going to be too bad at all to come forward. If they can qualify for next week, it's not a bad foundation at all.
Yeah, I think if they qualify for next week's Super Days as well, yeah, I think they'll stand a good chance of still making that top 16.
Absolutely. Still lots of hope out there for Respect, but that was a valiant effort for them, and they do take down 2 of Surreal. So that's really going to hurt Surreal because they've been doing so well tonight. They're going to want to keep that momentum going, but with 2 down, I mean, it's a little bit more difficult now. And then Rise of Queens just coming up right behind them. I don't think they're going to stop there, so they're good for now, but still, a bit of a scary moment coming through there. I'm also seeing Samurga on the west side come straight through the Wildcats there on that western side, right past Crates, and it's getting pretty busy over to the east side of Sanhok, of Rozhok.
Still thinking about that Sanhok game. It was pretty quick there as well. And I feel like this Erangel is going to go really fast.
Yeah, I think so.
These teams, look at how close everybody is already.
Oh yeah, there's no space whatsoever for these teams. They are not messing around whatsoever. Lytra Eternal here. They're going to be looking over at Inferno just quickly here. 8 minutes into the game, and we've already lost a team and lost 2 more on top of that. So 6 players have gone down in the first 8 minutes. And none of them to Armed Family, funnily enough.
Yeah, Armed Family, little bit laid back so far. What do you do? Come on, I'm ready. I'm ready to see a squad wipe from them. I think it'll come soon.
Yeah, it can't. We saw it in the first Erangel, and then after that, it's been a little bit more quiet from them. So maybe they just use it on Erangel. They're waiting for this last game now to really put that practice to work there. Samurga just going to be picking up her teammate and getting out of there. Looks like they got a little pinned down there by, who is that? Galacticos there. Oh, but she's just on the other side, though.
I have a feeling this is definitely going to be our quickest Erangel so far.
Yes.
Of our league.
Absolutely. I think that is the case. 1.5 minutes now till the next zone. We just had it pop up, but I can't quite see where it's gone. I don't have my map feed. I didn't get into the spectator slot, but oh well. We are going to be seeing Lytra there moving outside of the zone. They're going to be going for a long rotation around the eastern side. So that's an interesting play coming in from them. They don't feel confident that their trajectory within the zone is going to be working out best for them. So they're going to be going outside of it instead, right around to Yasnaya. So if Yasnaya is outside of zone like it looks to be, I doubt we have Stalbert, honestly.
And we just saw that Besiktas player just casually swimming through the river.
Listen, it's hot, okay?
We haven't seen that yet, so we've got some wild tactics going on in this last game.
Yeah. For sure. There it is. Oh, it is slightly Stalbert, but not quite. So we move off of that peak, but we're instead going to be going to Severny. And Goskilla have come down from there. I'm not sure if that's entirely the best move. They have gone to that warehouse on top of the hill instead. So that's a pretty nice spot nonetheless. But I do know I've seen many, many times now where teams move out of Severny, think it's not going to be there. It does move back up to the town, and then they're stuck outside of it. So I'm just a little cautious about that move there, but it's still a good compound they've gone to, so I do understand it.
Yep, and here come Armed Family. We've got a couple of members of your cook quality down at the moment. Armed Family, there they are on our left side. Just taking shots there. I think they've got a thirst there on your cut as they move in. They do have Inferno just across the water though, so there they are as well. So just be careful of that. I think they're trying to relocate themselves in a bit of cover, and I think we'll have to leave that other your cook quality player down there.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty... Oh, Lytra though. Okay.
Lytra coming back. Yep, first kill for them.
And hey, there's still a full squad. That's new.
I mean, I was saying yesterday they are so good at having their full squad right to the end, but today, I don't know what's going on with them today, but we've not seen them at their best, but they still have so many great points.
Yes,
and there we lose them, your cook quality there in 15th position, and no kills for them, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, Lytra, nice spot from them. Oh, but that's Cave up on top as well, so gotta be careful there. But Surreal have been separated by that. Oh no, that could be disastrous for Surreal. They are only the duo, so there's Loina on one side and Shirazers on the other, and Lytra might be pushing that.
Looks like they've sent that car up there just to check it out. They are a duo, as you said, so Lytra could definitely handle that. Cave up here as well, and so a Nightmare. So looking like this hillside at the top here, looking pretty popular right now. Sonya just got to heal up real quick. Sly Nightmare pushing down. We see that vehicle coming in. I think, is she coming down? Oh, it's Surreal actually. I thought it was a Nightmare. It's Surreal. So she's really trying to find a place to stop because she's in the middle of everybody.
Yeah. Goodness, mate. There's Loriachi. We just saw her there. MVP of Sanhok.
I mean, she's only got 2 medkits in this game. I don't know if she's feeling all right.
Yeah, no, gosh.
She's missing at least 30 more.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, looks like Cave Divas want to kind of move out of this space, or at least just edge their way around it. But it looks like they're going to be okay, because Nightmare going to be moving out. Moving out themselves.
Landing OP.
Very nice.
Nice landing there to keep her in that game.
But they're going to be moving straight off that mountain. That's really interesting, actually. So the way Lytra went all the way around Yasnaya to go to the north, Nightmare doing the same thing all the way to the south. That's very interesting. Okay, so we've moved away from Stalbert. We've moved away from that mountain completely, and we've decided to go down to the south instead. Now, we do have Galacticos here in a 1-3 split. Armed Family right down below them. But for now, it looks like they're going to be A-okay. Yeah, there we go. I just want to see where that zone goes. And it is to Rozhawk. Okay. So there's all that bridge to play for. All that water area as well. And Lytra's still going to be looking good down to the south there of that kind of... What is that? It's not a canyon, is it? It's like a quarry type, basin. Basin. There we go. I'll go with basin. Rise of Queens there as well. Gonna be taking up this spot. This is a really, really nice spot if they can keep control of it. I know there's one iconic game last season, I think, over in the main league. Navi had this spot and just played it to perfection. So I'm looking to see the same from Rise of Queens. If they could handle it in a similar fashion, they could be set up very, very well here. For a win, which they would actually pretty desperately need. They got 37 points, 11th place. A win would be very, very nice from them.
Freeps going down there to Submerga. Here we are with them. Mia, she's equipped with that M4 Oh, can Freeps crawl into the safety to get revived? I think she might have just made it into that building. I think she has just managed to get in there. Oh, just behind the car, actually, with the cover of the smoke. And yeah, the rest of her teammates coming in there now. So keep an eye on Samurga there, putting that pressure on. Not a bad little compound just next to that bridge either.
No, it isn't indeed. And it's one where they can stay for quite a while. As long as the zone is on their side, they don't have to move. It's not particularly a desirable compound in terms of, priority for other teams. So other teams aren't really going to be looking to go, oh yeah, let's go to that compound and crash that. So if they can just keep that, they should be okay. The zone does shift north, so right onto Rise of Queens. And I know for a fact there are several teams to that south side. So please, Rise of Queens, do some gatekeeping here.
I just saw there we had a knock on Samurga. There we go. Mia goes out. And Cave Diva is taking out one member of that duo of Surreal as well. Oh, here is. Are they pushing? Oh, she managed to take down one. Unfortunately, can't take down the rest of them. And we're gonna lose Surreal there. They take 4 kills with them after we saw that fight with Respect very, very early on.
That's a decent score, to be honest, with those amount of kills. You're not going to get any placement points going out in 14th like that, but still, 4 more points going over to them, leaving them still in 5th place so far, so not too shabby whatsoever to end the week on.
And Arm Family still having this fight down here. Rise of Queens here with Wildcats trying to make their way into zone. Yildiz is down. And Wildcats trying to push in here. I know you said you were hoping for them to... No! You wanted them to zone keep there, but I think they fell back a little bit too much. Maybe if they took that, just the top of that hill, they would have been able to see them running up. They pushed back a little bit too much and they didn't see them coming, unfortunately, and there we go.
Okay, Wildcats, I need you to do some gatekeeping. Except Wildcats were the only team in the south now. Everybody else has gone to the west, to the north particularly, but also to that western side. You got 3 teams on that side. So for the Wildcats, I think they just need to stay put for a little bit and not make too many moves. They too need this win. They're not in that top 8. They are in that top 8. They're just in 8th place now. So they are still there, but I would have expected them to see them go farther than they have. But again, with a lot of these teams, they could be just being consistent enough to get enough points, get them to the final, and that's where they'll start really bringing out the big guns.
Goskilla, I'm not sure. Oh, they've got one player just there outside of zone who has managed to cover them there and get a knock on Beshka, but where they stopped right just by that little tower, it looked like they were way open there to Nightmare.
That was a precarious situation for sure. And just got to take this moment to say, we've had somebody knock themselves from falling out the vehicle. It has happened. Lytra. One goes down.
Do you know what? We did so well over Super Days.
We did.
To not have people kill themselves.
Absolutely. But yeah,
happens.
we just had to. Final match, of course.
Those nades coming in now as well from Nightmare onto
I don't like that.
And I think just off a little bit, but she's gonna go with another one. Oh, underneath this time. That's gonna take her out in thirst. Do you know what? She's gonna go for the thirst as well. But she's crawled the wrong way. Do you know that was actually very clever? I would never think to throw under that little gap, but smart play there, and what a great knock.
Fantastic for them, Goskilla. Oh! The Q7, yeah, she just lit herself on fire. Okay. So it's back and forth between these two teams. Nice push from Goskilla in the end there, but just being pummeled back just a little bit there by those nades. Great work from Nightmare coming through there.
Oh, Onyx Dreamcore there eliminating Galacticos as well. We just missed that, and 5 kills there for Dreamcore. After all that, I didn't even notice the zone had moved, and these two teams are in zone, so they can fight in peace, not having to worry about go. Oh, another nade comes flying in from your temp, and
look at
another player going down. I'm going to work on my nades because I am awful at nade throwing. I'm so inspired right now. I'm going to practice.
How effective are they when used correctly? I mean, so good from both of these teams coming through here, and I really like what Goskilla did there with those knocked players to actually just go down the hill a little bit out of reach of those nades.
Samerga go out in 10th, and Arm Family eliminating Inferno, I believe, in 11th, and then 9th place just gone as well. Just like that, we're down to top 8. Nightmare going down to Goskilla at the moment, so still back and forth between those teams.
Yeah, it is, and I'm just trying to find, Nightmare, oh yeah, Sly. They're not Nightmare, they're Sly, that's why I never
they went out in 9th.
They went out?
They went out in 9th, so Goskilla won that fight.
Wow.
Now we have Cape Divas eliminated, Dreamcore just eliminated. I don't even know. I said it was going to be fast, just like that. We've got 23 players left, 6 teams.
Oh, and now it's Galatasaray's turn, look at them.
Arm Family doing well for themselves. I thought they were the ones who were going to be in trouble, but they won that fight in the end.
Lytra Opium?
Lytra going down to Arm Family as well. Oh, they're just on the edge of zone as well. Blowing that car up, and they're going to get their 7th elimination. Galatasaray feeling the pressure as well, but they do have a full squad up, so don't count them out. But Arm Family as well, looking strong. Full team. Same as the Wildcats. And it's only Lytra at the moment who are looking a bit weaker. Just the one player left up.
Yep, 5 kills though. It's a nice little boost, and a top 6. That's going to mean quite a few placement points going their way, but Galatasaray are still in zone, so they are looking a little bit hammered there, a little bit hemmed in from all sides, but they are still in zones. So they're okay for now. Opium just gonna, I think, bleed on out there. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Freep's looking to get her kill. Oh, and a solo from Sunder goes out to Goskilla in 6th place. 5 kills for them. Better game from them in our last one tonight.
Absolutely. Not quite the win they may have been looking for. They do like to win the last games of the stages we've been having so far, but not to be the case here tonight. The zone has shifted up to the northwest side, so Goskilla and also, who is that? Besiktas. Full squad for Besiktas. They're in zone.
Where have Besiktas come from?
I know!
Where have they been this whole game?
Ooh,
the sniper shot! Let's go, finally. Besiktas, where have they been? So quiet. The only team now in the top 5 with no kills so far, but look at them go. They're going to take this zone as well, while Galatasaray fight it out with Arm Family. And they're looking a bit low between themselves, and Besiktas are thinking, we look good. We got a full squad. We're in the zone, and we can just watch everybody try and make their way in while they're low, fighting each other.
The only real issue they're going to have is Goskilla with those angles from the high ground. The rest of them are so open field. Yeah, there goes Wildcats going down there.
Evelyn taking that first shots for Besiktas. Can they get their first kill? And look at this Arm Family just keeping their eye on Goskilla as well. They're going to have to leave the safety of that little fence there because it's not quite in zone. There goes the smoke. She's going to have to make a run for it, get those smokes up. Do have some vehicles. Looks like they're actually usable. Doesn't look like it. Maybe just missing a wheel. A nice spray there coming in for the... Oh! Returned! And we have a nade elimination as well for Galatasaray, taking out the Wildcats in 5th place with 8 kills. So
8
down
kills,
to our
fantastic.
top 4. Goskilla only have that solo left. And Hate Me down as well. So Freep's the only player up as well for our family. She's looking... Oh, she just placed it behind that rock just in time. Woo!
Oh, it is all going down here, isn't it?
Oh, she's decided to pick back out.
Ooh. And it's working so far. She gets one.
I wonder if her knock teammate... No, she's going to leave her. I think she might have been able to crawl there for a revive, but she's left her. And there, she's right next to that solo of Goskilla.
Uh-oh. She knows she's there at least.
And her teammate, just bleeds out. I thought she was very, very close there to crawling in for the revive.
Yeah, that's Galatasaray going out in the background as well. So that's a big team that are no longer in.
Oh, I think Freaks is going to get picked off here by all the teams, and she gets taken out by Besiktas, and that will be Arm Family in 3rd, but a massive 9 kills. We've got Besiktas Esports and Ghost Killer. Sirens left in our 2 teams, and it is only a solo, so it's a 1v4 right now. They're looking for her. Oof, she's out of zone. Oof. Do you know what? I don't know whether I would fight. I maybe just went into the blue zone and die.
Yes. Honestly, at this point, yes.
I'm not giving that kill point. I'm dying. I'm nading myself. I'm running in the blue. They're looking for her. Look. I wonder if they don't spot her, if she will just let that blue zone come to her and take her out. Is it
Possibly.
worth...
Oh no, there's a nade. No, run away!
Oh, the nades. Oh, they know she's there. The nade's coming. Oh... I mean, she can try and take one out with her. She is going to run all the way around.
I think this is I
think she's going for the... I think she doesn't want to get that point. Besiktas, one of the teams lower down, and there we go. Nice. She was not giving that one away.
No.
And
well done.
Be, out of nowhere, Besiktas come in there.
Yeah.
That chicken dinner.
Fantastic. Just coming in, swooping that win away from everybody in the zone. Said, you know what? We applaud you. We applaud you and your efforts here tonight. We're going to give you zone. And they took it. They took it and ran. So fantastic work coming in from Besiktas there. And yes, so quiet as well. But still, full squad. And this is what we keep saying. This is what we keep saying. If you are quiet the majority of the game, you are fresh. You have all your meds, you have your full squad, you are ready to go, and you're not feeling all this pressure and stress by having other fights come through. So they were able to come in like it's their first fight of the game, which it probably was, first fight of the game, to win the whole thing.
To win the match. I mean, very well played from them, especially they really needed those points. I think they were maybe like second or third from the bottom, maybe, I think. So very well played for them to, you know what, we need something. And that something ended up into a chicken dinner. So very well played from them. Yeah.
Really well played. Fantastic work. Gotta say, Gus Killer there as well, doing phenomenal work there with those nades back and forth. I really like what they did. You know, because grenades can add so much pressure to a game, to a team. You know, you have nades flying everywhere. You can't think straight because it's all going so quickly. But for Goskilla, they did super well there. They had those 2 knocks. They only had 2 up, so they used one to bring back the rest of the team down off the hill a little bit. Keep them. I saw that.
My lights just going off. I'm like, what's that? You're silent knock in a minute. Like, okay.
Yeah. Keep them off that hill, away from those nades a little bit, and then use their other player to distract them and keep them just focused away from the rest of the knock team. So very well played there from Goskilla as well. They were able to get those reses, heal on up, and then take out, who was it? Galacticos? No. Who was it? I've forgotten.
I know, I'm just looking at that cracking nade that came in there very early on as well. But no, it was a great fight between Nightmare and Ghost Killer as well. Especially because
Nightmare, that's what it was.
Yeah, especially because they were on the outside of that fence, and they were they could have got third party by anybody. So to come out of that alive, really nice. I really liked that fight between them. There we go. There's Nightmare taking those first shots on them, and they did really good because they pushed up. Knocks back and forth, and
great push by Goskilla.
Yeah, they had that little area right till the end as well. So there we can see there were still 12 teams alive at this point. So then all they had to do was just hang on to this position. All these nades, so good. All they had to do was hang on for the placement, and then she just wanted to bleed out in the end. She didn't want to give Besiktas that last point.
Yeah. That's a great play from her as well. Good thinking there. And it makes sense, doesn't it? When you got all 4 like that, and you go, no, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go out to zone instead. You're not getting any of my points. These are all for me. But another thing I have to say, you know, I love when, you know, the team is confident enough in their win to start running around like that, to start using those vehicles to just draw everybody out. It's like, we know we've won. We know we did super well here. Great nade, but we know we did super well here. This game is ours, and we're just going to take it now. We're not going to wait for you to give it to us. In the end, that's what Goskilla did there. But yeah, just a fantastic game from Besiktas. And I think that's their first win so far?
I think it's their first as well, yep.
Yeah.
It's been a good night for Turkey.
It has. A fantastic night for Turkey. Very, very well done from that region to come in here for that representation in the Women's League. Fantastic. I need to stop saying fantastic, but it's so true.
Also look at the not the dictionary, the other one for some similar words. Yeah, thesaurus for some similar words to fantastic.
Yep, need to do that. That's my homework for next week. There's your MVP as well. It's going to be Armed Family. All right, we saw they did well, but the Freeps is going to be our MVP for match 8.
Yeah, I'm pleased to see a member of Armed Family there with their MVP. Always putting up good fights and looking for those kills. Yeah, so I'm happy to see their MVP.
Yeah, absolutely. 55% of the team contribution going her way, so well done to her. Very nice. But interesting, we're not seeing as many points, MVP points, 4.8. That's not as many as we're used to seeing, so I'm wondering why. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not particularly well versed in what goes into the MVP rankings there or calculation, but just interesting to see that. Maybe it was a little less damage, a little less kills, but still a very, very good game coming in from Freeps there. See her most damage dealt as well.
Yeah, I think maybe because they didn't make top 3 as well, so the time that she survived,
that's true,
probably came into that as well. And obviously damage a little bit lower. We've seen like 1,000 damage. So yeah, if she wants to get those big points, we want to see some more damage from her, I think, and she'll be right on in there. Be interesting to see now the MVP race, because we've had some new MVPs tonight. So it'll be good to see who's entered into that leaderboard, where the placements are now. I think that's a good one to watch as well as the overall leaderboard. I think the MVP race is a good one to keep an eye on as well.
Absolutely. I think that's going to be looking not very different. We still have Lytra doing really well there. I think Opium was pretty much ahead of the rest by a fair bit there, so I don't think they're going to quite catch up to her just yet, but certainly on a very good trajectory to do so. And of course, Lytra not having the best of nights here tonight as compared to previously is helping that, of course, as well. I think Shirazers was MVP at some point there, so looking good for Surreal as well to come into that MVP position. But there is the match ranking.
I think looking at this, 21 points there for Besiktas and 19. So Armed Family came second overall because of their 9 eliminations. Oh, they came third. I thought it was 4th, but they did come in third. But yeah, 19 and then 17 and 17 and 14. I think this might be the closest result we've seen so far.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nice game. And I actually enjoyed watching that game as well, because it was so close and so much action. And I think they got into it, we got into it, and the results there very, very close. So it was nice. Just the 2 teams at the bottom there. Rise of Queens again, 0 points, and your cook quality unfortunately as well. A couple of teams taking 1 or 2 just to help them along the way as well.
Yeah, no, it's been, like you were saying, they got into it, we got into it. It's just I always enjoy the final games of any sort of stage. Just so much fun, because they go all out. They go, you know what, we're not going to play as quietly. We're going to yellow it a little bit. We might do some hot dropping. We're going to go for those early kills. Here we go. Let's go over to this graph real quick, because this is the right one. So let's have a look at this.
Let us see my head. Oh, one that stands out straight away. I haven't gone for the first team straight away. I'm looking at Inferno, because they have all that damage and just the 1 kill. Also, Nightmare. Look at all these teams with no kills but putting in damage.
Nightmare got 0 kills?
Yeah, but look at all this damage from them as well. So, unfortunately,
that made damage.
Yeah, all those nades, all those knocks they had on Ghostkiller, and they didn't have 1 kill.
Not a point to show for it. Oh gosh, how frustrating that is for them. Yikes.
But what a fight it was. I would be clipping that.
Oh yeah, great content.
And I'd be looking at that thinking, how did we not get a kill from that?
Yeah, exactly. There's the overall stats as well. So I find it very interesting. We have the airdrops looted and total headshots are exact same. That's been a thing all night.
Every game?
Every game. 7-7-9-9. Something else, I think. But yeah, it's been a thing. I'm not sure what's going on there.
It's a little bit creepy, but okay.
It is, yeah. But 8,000 total healing. That's a little bit higher than we're used to seeing in Erangel, actually. The 888, or 8088 rather. But yeah, we're used to seeing about 5,000 to 6,000 total healing points, and it's 8,000 this time around. So a lot of medkits and heals being used.
Yeah, it just shows how many fights are actually going on in this game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but the roles are reversed. We're used to seeing Lytra on that left-hand side. But this time it is Galatasaray as that first place holder after that final game. We got our team summary.
Is this over the last 2 days? Must be.
No, I think that's just tonight. Because it's not a lot of damage for such high kill teams.
It must be the... No, because average. Because it must be the total eliminations. Leicester haven't had 45 kills tonight.
Oh, that's true. No, you're right.
So overall, yeah, I was gonna say, Leicester haven't had their best night. Obviously, yesterday far better from them.
Yeah.
But Galatasaray have been so strong, so consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, total throw balls as well. Look at that, 160.
160. Yeah, I was just mentioning that. Gosh. What a number that is. But 117, I mean, okay, yeah, that's like 43 off, but still a substantial number going through there. Oh, Besiktas with the win, though. Look at them strutting all the way up to 13th place with that 34 points.
So made up for them. They really needed that. Mm-hmm. They were like so far down with hardly anything, and now look at them. And back over the top, Galatasaray still there on top, but later have managed to sneak back up away from Cave Divas. Sly just getting pushed down after they didn't. I'm still shocked at how they didn't get any kills.
Yeah, no kills.
A little bit upset. Like, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, they should have had kills.
I feel like the game that they had deserved some kills there. I think
they did.
But yeah, just moving down there into 4th. It happens, sadly.
It does.
And our family there pushing up as well. So still pretty tight. We go from, I'm not going to count number 1. They're pretty out there with their points. We go from 91, 86, 83, 78. And then down there, 66, 66, 65. Very close still.
For 9th.
And so still very, very close. And there are our winners: Galatasaray, Erangel, Goskele in Miramar, on Extreme Court in Sanhok, and then a nice win for Besiktas in our last game tonight with another Erangel map. So well done to all those teams tonight. Do you know what? It's been fun tonight. I think it
has.
It's been a good night.
It has. It really has. And I do want to point out just quickly there that Cave have 0 wins, and they are in 3rd place currently. So then the 2 days that they've had, the 8 matches, have been super consistent, super good to get that 3rd place, and right behind 2nd place as well, not by any real difference, and have 0 wins.
Yeah, just so it's consistently, you don't have to win the game, but if you just consistently come in the top 5, 4, get a couple of kills, you're still going to be right up in there with them.
Absolutely, just great games from all these teams. 8 matches have just been so great, and tonight has been just so much fun to watch, particularly that last game. Honestly, that was just a great game, just fun. But yeah, unfortunately that is the last of it, though. Week 1 has officially finished. Super Day 2 has officially finished, and we will be seeing you guys next week. We will be here same time, same place, but on Sunday. So we will start all over again with Week 2 qualification or League Day 1. Until then, thank you so much for watching and supporting your team, supporting us and the organizers. We have been Neptura and Majesty, and we will be seeing you on Sunday. Until then, have a great week and have a great night, everybody. Good night.
Yep. Good night, guys.